and kicked off Facebook. No, I'm kidding.
Already?
On that, I'm waiting on that. How's everybody doing tonight?
Great.
Good. Resting, recuperating,
Mommy, I think
meditating.
I think
Good
this is
second.
my dad.
Tonight, we are going to be talking about the Royal Rumble from last night. The good, the bad, the ugly, and the fun.
Yeah.
And the excitement and hours and hours and hours and hours of butt kicking. Right?
Yeah, you had to get caught up a lot.
That was awesome, though. I really enjoyed it.
Nice.
So the first surprise that we got for the Royal Rumble was Pat McAfee coming back into commentary again.
Yeah.
Oh.
When he ran out looking like a wrestler, and I was like, "Who's this guy?"
I like him and I don't like him. It's like a 50-50 for me.
I don't
I-
think either way. I don't know him, so
He goes over the top too much, it seems like, but
Because he runs his mouth at the wrong people.
I can see that happening. Yeah.
Well, I mean, he's not a wrestler by all means, but he's gotten involved in matches because he ran his mouth at his opponent.
Yep.
To begin with.
He's a good athlete, though.
Yes, he is.
For just being
I don't know much about the guy. I just know that what I've seen of him on wrestling and know he's got some kind of show somewhere that he interviews people on.
Sports show. Talks a lot of
ESPN
crap on it.
or something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
One of those,
know
ESPN
that.
or Fox. Yeah.
I didn't
He was a
know that.
punter in the NFL for a long time.
Yeah.
But he would actually tackle and hit people and run and.
See, I didn't know that because I don't watch football much.
I know he looks super duper athletic, though. It was like he can't just look that athletic to sit there and talk.
Right. I mean, I think Jeremy, if I'm wrong, last year he jumped up like on the top rope, like Kurt Angle used to do and stuff, right? At one of them when he was fighting Logan Paul.
He did. No, not with Logan.
Okay.
With Austin.
Austin. Yeah.
That was actually 2 years ago.
2 years ago already. Yeah. See, he's and I thought he was going to be a joke, and I watched it like, God, he's going to suck. And actually, I came away a little bit impressed by him. But wearing his cowboy boots last night, I was like, can't get to do nothing.
Well, he said it, though. He wasn't prepared.
Right.
Nobody told him he was in the Rumble.
That's funny.
Now, last year,
hear that part.
wanted him to be in the Rumble as well, and he said no because he hadn't had any chance to train for it. So he thought if I did get in there without actually preparing for this thing, it'd be disrespectful to the wrestlers. I don't want to do that.
Yeah.
So this year, yeah, you don't have a choice now.
Yeah.
And I think they kind of sucked on WWE's part.
Yeah.
And they could have brought somebody else in that was probably wanting to make their comeback soon or was going to make their comeback.
Or just a
Maybe it was a
surprise
last
entrant.
minute thing.
Yeah,
Like,
or
did they
just
say anything
surprise.
if it was a last minute thing? Like somebody didn't show up and they just threw him in there because?
Could have
Well,
been.
At the time, what was it? Triple H, before Royal Rumble, like when they started talking about it, back in December, Triple H made that announcement that he was going to open it to TNA, and some of those other wrestling federations.
I actually never heard that. But I'm glad because
Well, that's why the knockout champion came in.
yeah.
Well, Mickey did it last year, and she was knockout champion. So
yeah, Mickey did, but she also had a history with him too.
yeah,
Jordan, on the other hand, did not. But
Jordan's a
been on
beast.
the radar for many years.
Jordan's got herself in a lot of good shape.
She is a beast.
She is, yeah. I was
She
just
used to
wondering
just kind of
myself,
be like,
if she was all female. I was like, is she all female? She is so
yeah,
big.
yeah. I mean, she used to kind of be more thicker and more kind of just looking heavy set, but she's got herself in real good shape.
She's like chiseled like a comic book character now.
Yeah, I was impressed because I hadn't seen what she in TNA. Yeah, I hadn't seen that in a long time, so I was like, Jesus.
Yeah,
She
I've
was
heard
pretty impressive during the Rumble too.
she did. I heard a lot about her over the years, but never had a chance to actually watch her until last night. And
Yeah, me either.
wow,
I think
Yeah.
it would have been fun to see her. All the 4 muscle women that were in that all do like a power move at once. Would have been fun.
have her and
Bianca.
I mean, if
Jade.
that woman was a little shorter, I mean, the first thing I thought when I saw it TNA Knockout Champion, just because of the way she was so chiseled, was China.
Yeah,
It was the first thing I thought of. She kind of
Mhm.
had that look because she was so chiseled.
yeah. I didn't realize she was that cut, that chiseled.
Oh yeah, she's in damn good shape.
Yeah.
I would say overly good shape. Like overachiever type good shape, but
And
not
her
bad.
husband is like that too. I can't remember who her husband is, but
Yeah.
he's a wrestler and he's cut like that too. So
No, I didn't even realize she
Hmm.
was married.
yeah, there
Was he there
goes
last
your
night?
dream, Jeremy.
So how'd
He's not WWE, but he might have been
No.
like in the crowd or something.
Jonathan,
Let me see if I can find
I'll have
out
to
who it
look
is.
her up. Yeah, look at
Jonathan Grisham. Yeah.
So did it start like you said, Jeremy? I can't remember.
Yes, it did.
what was that, Joe?
Did you predict it right the way it started?
Not.
Women's Royal Rumble first.
It
Yep.
was. Yes, it was. Um, and I actually had a list of 30 women that I had predicted would be in there. I had 25 of them.
That's good.
That's
Mhm.
Well,
a good prediction.
I was in agreement with a lot of those, and then a few others I wasn't when you was talking about some of them, but I was like waiting, and I'm like, wow, she pulled 30 because I was just I'm waiting for Liv Morgan to come back.
Oh yeah,
When she came back at number 30 yesterday, that was like, wow, great,
but
about time.
she was actually one of those that I was predicting to come back. But the bad thing is, I was so into that match. They had a great Rumble match.
Yeah, they
Mhm.
They had the match of the night, in my opinion. But by the time we got to number 30, I forgot about Liv Morgan.
Yeah, I had two.
Yeah, I was
I'm
so
trying to
Chelsea
remember
Green.
which one she was. I remember the name, but I'm trying to remember all of their names and like which ones they are and the faces that go with the names or the costumes or the moves that go with the names, because there were so many of them.
Yep.
And
I was
I
pretty
was
impressed.
very impressed by the way Jade held herself in that match.
Yeah.
oh man, the way that she manhandled Nia Jax.
Yep, and threw her out all by herself. And last year, they said it. It took 7 women last year.
It was
And
11.
oh, was it 11? I thought they
Yeah.
said 7. Either way,
I thought they said
Either
7.
way, it took a
those
lot.
women that were in that last year that were part of throwing her out were some of the biggest women besides Nia Jax, because Rodriguez wasn't there last night, but she was there last year to help throw out Nia Jax, and then you had both Shayna Baszler and all them big women.
Rhea.
I was disappointed that Raquel was not in there.
Yeah,
Is
I
she-
was very disappointed not to
I
see.
heard she was hurt or something a couple months ago, and that's why she's been off. So I don't know, maybe still recovering.
I don't know. If that's the case, then that would
I
make
feel like I've
sense.
seen her before, like a
But
picture.
totally disappointed.
Yeah, she's got a hell of a
Raquel
career.
is one of those that's built and chiseled like
And tall.
Yeah.
very. She's not
Like
quite
an Amazon. Like an Amazon.
Jada's, but she's more along the lines of what Jordan is.
Yeah, but again, taller.
One surprise for me, a lot of people were expecting it. I didn't see it happening because of her just literally wrestling still in TNA a week ago was Naomi.
No, Naomi. Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not a fan of her, really. I just get bored with her cheerleader crap all the
That
time.
was a big shocker to me.
Yeah.
I mean, my wife and I heard the music and we're like,
Who the hell is that?
like, who the hell is that? And then all of a sudden, you saw the glow, and it's like, feel the glow. She's back.
Naomi.
And it kind of looked like she was off with whoever it was that was out first. I can't even remember. But to me, it
Natalia.
looked like, yeah, it looked like they didn't really have that chemistry there. It looked off to me.
I mean, the first woman that came out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Natalia. I forgot who it was, honestly.
It was like Nayana, Nakaya, Natalia. I couldn't remember her name.
Raquel is 6 feet tall, by the way. I just looked it up.
I was really happy to see Natalia come out at 1 because Bret Hart had been number 1 twice.
Yes,
So
that legacy.
yeah, so I was really glad to see her coming out at number 1, and did quite well. Really,
She
she
did.
lasted
She
21
stayed in a
minutes.
long time.
Yeah,
I thought she stayed in. It seemed like longer than that even.
she's in there a while. I don't know how long, but
But Bailey, 1 hour and 3 minutes.
She broke a record.
that just got broken that same match.
That's just before that too.
Mhm.
That is the women's record right now, and 3rd all time.
Yeah, I had a good feeling about her the whole time.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, they're setting up.
She's very resilient.
Yes, she
She's
is long
challenging you.
overdue for this.
Huh? All over the
She
place.
is long overdue for this. She's been at it for, oh man, when did they all come in? Like 10 years ago?
I don't know. She came in saying that she was just a big fan and decided, had all
Yeah.
these pictures of her as a young girl with all the different superstars at the time
Yeah.
and some of the legends.
Mm.
It seemed like it was like a long time ago.
I
She
know.
did. Her wrestling debut was
She had those
2008.
big blow up things
2008.
coming out to because she was, a fan favorite.
I remember that. Those were so much fun to watch.
Her WWE debut was in 2012.
There
Okay.
you go.
So she's been at it for 12 years now and finally has won the Rumble. And that
Went
makes
longer than that.
her third.
That
Yeah,
little one.
she was in NXT for
Yeah.
a while because she was part of the original 4 Horsewoman.
Yes.
Yep.
And that makes her the 3rd horsewoman to win the Rumble. Sasha Banks is the last one.
Yep. Have to wait another year at
I was
least.
hoping to see her, but
I was hoping that was 30, honestly.
After seeing Naomi come in, I thought maybe we will see Sasha come in.
Me
Right.
too.
Unfortunately,
some of these wrestlers don't like that weight, so they've been renegotiating their contract so that weight is even shorter. That's what I was, the point I was trying to make the other night about these people jumping ship and going over.
What do you mean? What are the wait? The time of what?
They have a stipulation in their contracts, usually, that they have to wait a year before they can go work for a rival company.
Okay.
Oh. Yeah, most of them are at 90 days now, but
And then,
still.
and then you got some of these wrestlers that go over like Edge. He went over to AEW. Now he's going by his real name because WWE owns the rights to his name, Edge.
Oh,
Yep.
that sucks.
Yeah. So then they gotta kind of come up with something new.
Of course, they're gonna hang on to the rights to that name.
Yeah.
Why would they need it? Mm.
Now, all in all, going through the roster of the ladies that wrestled last night, 7 of them, it was their first time being in the Rumble match itself.
Okay, that's pretty decent.
Yeah.
Maxine Dupree.
No,
Yeah.
that was like the worst thing ever.
She has improved from when she first started, but she still has a long way to
I
go.
thought the Chelsea girl was pretty sad.
Chelsea was great.
I thought she was pretty sad. She kept getting stomped on by her
Knocked
own.
her down, and I loved it. Gold card for her. Watch Beyond Green. That's what Maxine is. Beyond Green still.
You
I mean, I
know,
liked
I
her
think-
attire. I liked her.
Yeah,
her
I'll give
outfit.
her an A for effort, but
Chris
Yeah,
ended up messaging me right after, I think it was Coy said that Chelsea Green is now a corpse after getting 20 splashes or something like that.
yeah,
God, she's just like,
I laughed so hard at that I had to I messaged like 5 people that laughing and.
And,
She got it. She got it good. I was just like, it's
and she
crazy.
finally rolled out of the ring and just laid there when I don't even know who it was that came in, and she was just laying there. I thought she was eliminated.
Yeah, everyone did. Even the announcers said that.
Yeah, they did. And then all of a sudden she's back in there and she's putting the boots to people. Wait a minute, I thought she got eliminated.
I thought that too. So I wasn't the only one. I thought maybe I made a mistake or something, and somebody else
I mean-
looked like her.
no, I think we all thought that because I did too.
I mean, technically, she can come back in. There's no DQ. She just can't win at that point, even if she was. So.
It's throughout the whole match, both matches really. I was typing them down as they were coming in and then trying to stay caught up of the order of elimination. And I saw that she was out. I thought, okay, I must have missed it. And they said it, so I threw her name in there. And then about 5 minutes later, she was back in the ring. What the hell? So I had to go back in there and
Same.
put her name off that. And as soon as I did it, she got eliminated.
Yeah,
Love
right
it.
after that, because I thought like somehow she reappeared and then got out again, and I was like,
Yeah.
"What am I like?"
That was a
I
good
don't
match
know. I
overall.
just
though.
thought maybe I thought she was somebody else.
One person that I was really hoping to see more of in the Rumble was Tegan Knox.
Yeah.
First of all, she comes out with this multicolored hair. And
She got out real quick, right?
She did. She only lasted
Pretty
a minute
quick.
and a half.
And her face of devastation was like,
Yep.
Natalia went out, and then she went out, and whoever it was teasing her. That's your friend. Oh, because Natalia tried to throw her out,
Yeah,
and then she
Natalia,
there was
reversed
a lot of
she
there was a lot of that little backstabbing, and it's like
yeah.
you guys, when you team up in a Royal Rumble, you expect it to last? Come on, you know.
right?
The other one's just gonna psych you out so they can take the first strike. You know,
Exactly.
Yeah.
and I got a lot to say about that in the men's Rumble.
No, Bailey and Asuka actually like helped each other out of quite a
And Curry.
Until
What about Corey Zane's save? That save she did for a couple seconds, hanging on the side of the ring.
Oh man,
yeah.
That was nuts. There's already memes out there about it.
Is there?
Yeah, like doing like the Spider-Man on the.
And she flipped
Crane
around
thing.
and like did like an Olympic like I don't know
Yeah,
what you call that, but it was like an Olympic where they have the pole and they like do those, jumping from pole to pole or whatever that's called. That's what it looked like. I was like, whoa.
I don't know how Kyrene held on because it looked like all she had was the very top of that ring apron that separates the mat and the that display thing there.
Yeah,
Are you talking about that girl? Yeah, when her feet were being held up, when she was holding her feet
yeah,
off the
and I
ground.
think her feet were like on a little like ledge thing at the bottom for
They
a
were up
second.
against the back of it behind her, like they were tucked
Yeah,
behind her, and she was just using her like upper body strength to stay.
that was amazing.
Yeah, it
And
was.
even Bailey was trying to hold on to her, but somebody came and got Bailey, and Kyrie she could not hold on.
I don't blame her. I don't know if she was supposed to be saved there or not, but either way, that was amazing.
Yeah, it was.
That
That
was
was a good
a
memorable moment.
That was the only
there was a
one.
lot of memorable moments during that women's Royal
Just-
Rumble.
I didn't think Valhalla was in there very long. That was kind of
Nope.
crazy. I mean,
She
I walked
wasn't
out of
in
the
there
room
very
and
long.
came back in, and she was gone, and I was like, "What?"
that was the highlight of the night.
With our truth
Yeah, when she came
Sure.
in with her truth.
So
coming in at 24.
I saw on TikTok a fan was in the aisle, and he was videoing everything. So he
Yeah.
videoed Valhalla coming out and then raising up out of that fog and making her way down, and then all of a sudden R-Truth starts running out. What you don't see on the pay-per-view is as R-Truth is going around the corner, here comes Adam Pearce chasing.
Yeah, you see later that he tells them both, so like you back there and you're in the
Yeah.
match, and then
He come out there, and the way that he's jogging is like, no, come back. Oh,
right.
man. Wow.
I'm waiting for him to have a match.
He is gold no matter what he does.
He's what?
Is gold.
You
R-Truth,
say bold?
he is gold.
Oh, gold. I thought you said bold. I guess it's kind of.
Well, he's bold too. Yeah.
Oh,
They-
He's
I
bald,
mean,
gold, and old. He's got all three
mean,
going.
Gold,
he
gold,
adds
and
such
old.
a comic relief to the whole
Yeah.
thing
Yeah.
that he is like golden.
And he's
Yeah.
been an NWA champion in the past, and that's like just.
I myself, I found Valhalla that I add like a quiet, silent comic relief with the antlers and stuff. I was like,
R-Truth is 52 years old.
Yeah,
dang.
and he's smarter than his character.
Yeah,
Now, I feel really bad for Valhalla because I think she's been in 4 Rumbles now, but 3 of them, she has been in there for less than 30 seconds.
remember she was Sarah Logan before.
Right. She was part of the
Yeah,
she was part of the
Yeah.
Riot Squad
yeah.
with
Sarah
Liv
Logan.
Morgan and Ruby Riot.
I think this one here is more suited for her.
Yeah, and they're into that. I guess in real life they do that Viking stuff. Her and her husband.
Well,
They-
I think her husband actually has Viking blood in him.
Yeah, and he's
Yeah.
one of the Viking Raiders, I think, if I remember correctly.
The Raiders like a ball player Raider or like a wrestler called the
The
Raiders?
wrestler tag team.
Okay.
The
One of them
Viking
came out
Viking
in the
Raiders.
Rumble.
She's married to Eric, and
Okay,
he's currently out.
is he the one hurt? Okay,
He's the one that's hurt. Ivar, on the other hand, wow.
he's a man for as big as he is to be able to do that stuff. Bam Bam Bigelow style, right there.
Bam Bam, Earthquake. Yeah, a man his size has no business being able to move the way that he does or do half of the stuff that he does.
I know.
Yeah, but there's been a few in the past. It's proven it can be done.
I
Yep.
know.
Even Vader.
Oh yeah, big
He-
bad Vader.
Vader is on a whole nother level there.
And there was King Kong Bundy.
Yeah.
I don't know who that is. Funny
That's
name,
old school wrestling.
though. Oh Lord
King
Jesus.
Kong, he
Sorry, that
wasn't
was my dog's
quite
tail.
King Kong doesn't
He was
have
he moved more like Andre.
athleticism. Yeah, he didn't have the athleticism like Bam Bam did.
No, nobody moved like Bam Bam.
No, well, Vader did. Earthquake, that boy could move.
Sudden.
Yeah, and to be honest, the only time that I've really ever seen anybody move as fast as Earthquake did on the ropes is Braun Breaker.
Braun moves fast. I didn't realize he was that quick.
Yeah,
Well, you know, he's got his father and uncle to thank for his
Oh,
wrestling ability. Probably they probably trained him, or were right there coaching him.
Oh yeah.
there would have been nobody better to train him.
Yeah, exactly.
One of the top tag teams of all time. I mean,
And you noticed, and I heard it. It was hard to hear, but part of that crowd was doing the old Rick Steiner thing.
Oh, yeah.
When he was out, when he was coming out.
yeah. His music used to do it too. I don't know if it still does. I wasn't really.
As much as I watch these guys, you would think that I would recognize their music, but I hardly recognize the music of most of these people.
They were talking about that on Busted Open today. Like all the music, they'd like have to wait till they saw, like the Titantron say something for most of them.
Yeah,
The girls and the men, and it's just like.
Speaking of the Titantron, I did notice one mistake they had when Kaden Carter come out.
Okay.
When you heard the buzzer, you saw the time thing on the screen, and after the buzzer, she comes out from behind that big display. That thing was still counting down to 0. I don't know if any of you guys.
I didn't even realize. I guess I wasn't paying that close.
what
Right.
I was
Is that
probably looking
maybe-
at her outfit and her presentation and like her presence. So I probably wasn't paying attention either.
I was gonna say, is that like their little, because they do a party gimmick? So maybe that like a 3, 2, 1 party, and maybe it's actually her Titantron, or was it the actual Royal Rumble counting down?
Well, actually, now that you said that, I don't.
Because I didn't really pay attention, honestly, and you said that you could be right too. I've never paid attention to their Titantron
Well,
videos.
I'll have to watch how it was when Katana came out.
Yeah, because they have the same one since they were a tag team. And
Yes.
she didn't do any spectacular saves last night, did she? Katana? Because usually she does something Kofi-ish.
Yeah, Kaden got up on the apron, and I think.
Oh yeah,
Bailey
yeah.
was trying to throw Katana
Oh,
out.
right at the very first when Caden came out, huh?
Yeah, and
Yeah, okay.
but Katana, when she was Casey a couple years ago, the way that she saved herself,
That handstand.
she did the handstand, walked, and then wrapped her leg around the ring post and pulled herself up and got back into the ring.
No way.
American Ninja training.
Well,
she used to be regular on American Ninja.
Yeah.
Yeah. yes.
First woman to win it and shortest and blah blah blah.
And at the time, she was dating Ricochet.
Yep.
Uh,
Now Ricochet's dating Samantha, isn't he? That's the last I heard.
I know. And honestly, I don't know if that's an upgrade or a downgrade because both of them are just beautiful women.
Yep.
So,
I'm trying to remember which one Katana was. Like, I don't remember which one she was. There were so many with
she
a K
was a-
name.
tiny.
She's like,
Does she
she's
have
like
katanas?
no.
That
They just lost the tag belts on SmackDown. Her and her partner.
Oh, the night before. Yeah.
Yeah.
Katana was the one that came out before Bianca did.
Did she have rainbow like festival hair
I don't think so.
and like two pigtails in the back that went down?
With little puffs.
Not her.
No, I think that one was Ivy.
No,
yeah, that was
not Ivy.
Ivy.
Ivy has Viking braids. She has box braids. Not her. I know who she is, but there was another one that came out that was really skinny and really quick and really agile and like flexible, and she had these braids that came back, and they went down her back, and they were colored like different colors, and they hung
It
down.
might have been.
I think
She stayed in
think
quite a while. Whoever
she
this
was
person
all
was.
brunette. I don't think she had any coloring in her hair. She did have what looked like white beads a couple places.
Yeah.
I don't know,
That might have been the other one with the outfit.
I don't know.
but she was the one that when Caden came up on the apron. Katana was thrown over the rope, and her back landed on Caden's back, and she
And-
flipped her back into the ring.
Yeah. They're a good tag team if you like all that great tag team stuff.
They both eliminated Asuka.
Yeah.
I don't
Okay.
know
It's
if
really
that would help. The one person in the Rumble that I just don't
Yep,
ever.
that's who I was talking about. This was her.
Okay,
Yeah, but she had two
Okay.
braids that went down the back, and they had like blonde
Okay.
or orange hair mixed into them.
okay.
the
Yeah.
one person I never ever see is Xia Li.
Right.
I never see her wrestle on TV at all, but she seems to be in all the Rumbles.
She's the one that had the katanas.
She's
But,
doing she's the one that's the katanas.
She's
Well,
yeah, she's the one that had the swords.
yeah, she had the swords. They weren't technically katanas, but yeah.
Um,
They're hook swords she
Well,
uses.
From what I understand, she is an amazing wrestler that came over from Japan.
Right.
Time I ever see her is in the Rumble, and she never lasts long in the Rumble.
Yeah.
And every time she's come in, she has always looked very different. One year she had long hair. The next year her hair was very short, and this year she was kind of like in between.
Yeah. She's doing some kind of like one kick knockout gimmick on NXT right now, I think.
Okay. Well, according to this, she's on the Raw brand.
Yeah, but she's on the Raw brand, but they have her down in SmackDown. The last couple times I saw her, anyway.
But to be fair, they have so many wrestlers.
Yeah,
Um,
it's kind of like AEW. Way too many wrestlers for us.
yeah. But I did predict from NXT that Tiffany Stratton would be in.
That's a good prediction.
Um,
I like her.
didn't see Roxanne coming in because she was in last year.
Yeah, and she has a title match coming up. What did they say? Sunday? Tonight? Next week?
Yes.
Or whatever their pay-per-view is.
Yeah, the Valkyrie.
Is it Valkyrie?
What was that?
Did you say Valkyrie?
Yeah, that's who has the NXT women's title right now.
Laya Valkyrie or whatever her name is.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right. But I thought for sure Roxanne would have been called up to the main roster. Maybe she will be after WrestleMania.
That's what I was going to say. After her title, whenever it is, I think she'll come up.
Yeah.
It might be after WrestleMania, but
Well, sometimes it's usually they've been doing and recruiting a lot of those ones from NXT to Raw and SmackDown. You know, it usually starts right around the road to WrestleMania and after.
yeah, exactly.
Now I think that after they move everything over to Netflix next year, that they may try. And this is what Triple H had actually been trying to do. That he was trying to make NXT on the same level as Raw and SmackDown. And now that I think it's safe to say that Vince is gone for good,
I hope so.
Hope so,
that's
yeah.
what's going to happen.
Quite, she's adjusted right.
What was
What
the
a,
girl that looked like Harley Quinn? What was her name? She came out at the very end, like next to last.
Liv Morgan?
That was Liv Morgan, number 30.
Okay.
that was the
Yeah.
But the one that used to look like Harley Quinn a lot was Alexa Bliss.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Was hoping to see her, but I get with the pregnancy. It was probably too soon.
yeah, way too soon.
It would have been pushing it hard because we looked it up one time about a month ago. Me, you, and Donald were talking about it.
Yeah, because
When she gave birth not long ago.
Alexa,
Yeah.
also Carmela.
About 2 months ago, she gave birth, I think.
Yeah.
Alexa did.
Yes.
So it would have been really pushing it, but
Now,
that's just because I like her. That's just because I like her.
oh, she's amazing in the ring.
I think she
I
just.
see her at
I
WrestleMania.
think,
And Carmella just had a baby, or
I
is still
think
pregnant.
Alexa Bliss improved a hell of a lot after her association with Bray Wyatt.
Yes.
Yeah.
Not just in her ring abilities, but her psychological abilities.
Yep. Yeah, and she got away from the Harley Quinn look.
Yeah.
I was really, really hoping to see something be in tribute to Bray last night.
I think we all were.
Last pay-per-view.
Oh, yeah, it was. Huh? Yeah, they should have.
Yeah, I was really, really hoping. I guess in a way that would be Liv Morgan, because she's with Bo Dallas.
Oh, lucky Bo.
So her and Bo are an item. So I guess in a way that is kind of like a tribute, bringing her back, depending on which way you
Well,
look.
there's also the talk still, and it never was definitive when he's coming back. But Braun Strowman, he said when he comes back, he's doing tribute, and he had the sheep mask in his, that black sheep mask in his hand.
That's cool.
Well, what they have done before, it used to always be the night after WrestleMania. But now they've started adding the night after SummerSlam, and I think what they're going to be doing is the night after one of the big 4 pay-per-views, somebody comes back. So maybe we'll see Braun on Raw tomorrow.
Right.
All I know is he's due to come back soon.
Yeah.
He didn't say when either.
Last I knew, it was either November or December that he had been given the clearance to start working out.
And watch out, because I hear he's bringing Nicholas with him.
Nicholas has grown.
Right?
Like 6'4", 6'5", something like that.
Exactly.
Oh,
Do you remember Nicholas, Joe? It's who he won the tag titles with way back, and he picked somebody out of the audience.
How her hair was, but it was different color.
really?
See,
Yeah. Yep.
it was like that, but it was blonde and orange instead of purple. And blue.
Okay.
I don't
Yeah.
remember there being that many colors last night, but
And it was in
Yeah.
back. It wasn't in front. She has more wigs
Okay.
than me.
Okay.
I do hair, so I'm looking at their hair, and I'm like, dang, their hair looks awesome. I want my hair to look
That's
like
back
that.
when I remember that. That was.
Yeah.
I remember that.
I'm like,
Okay.
I
Yeah,
got
and
some like
he was
fashion
just,
show going on here too.
tiny little kid.
Huh?
Tiny little kid, and it looked like he was scared to death in that ring.
Yeah, that's back when Braun was refusing and then he's being forced to pick a tag team partner. He's like, I'll pick this guy or whatever.
Yeah, I picked him out of the 18th row or something way up there in the stands. And
He went hooking all over to the floor, and I'm thinking, what the hell is this all about? Because I really don't remember the build up to that match. I remember watching it, but I don't remember the build up. And I was thinking, okay, why does he not have a tag partner? And
I think he's just the monster that could do it all himself. And
he did.
And he did, honestly. But yeah, I think that was the whole build-up. And they were like, no, it's a tag team. You have to have a... I don't think there was much more to it than that.
Teammate to be a tag team. More than one person to have a team. There's no I in team.
Right? But there is in win.
There's a me in team. There's a me. No.
But the
There's an I in win.
On, he doesn't need a tag team partner.
Yeah, he really don't. And again, it depends on how you book him, but
If you get him mad enough, you can have 5 guys on the other side, and it still be an unfair fight.
bring back Mr. Redbeard to team with him. And
That-
there's your tribute. And there's your tribute.
Yes, that would be the ultimate tribute.
Eric Rowan.
I did read something where there's consideration of having Bo Dallas come back As-
Howdy.
as Howdy. Was it Howdy? Uncle Howdy?
That's who I always heard.
Okay. And have him come back as that and have Braun and Eric come in. And maybe even also have Alexa come in as well.
That'd be good. Give him a tribute for a couple months and then
Well, I could see that going a little bit longer than that. Look how long the Wyatt family lasted.
yeah. Well, yeah, I didn't mean literally like April, May or something, but I meant, 6,
No.
7, 8 months.
They can still get away with calling it the Wyatt family because Bo Dallas was blood. The blood.
So you can still call it that.
You can still
But-
get away with calling that.
They
As long
probably,
as Bo Dallas is part of it.
I was kind of disappointed in Shayna Baszler. She didn't seem like she did much of anything.
I'm gonna
I
go
like
look her up. I can remember which one it is. I remember the name, but I don't remember which person.
The
it was.
Queen of Hearts, or no, what's her name now? Black
Queen of
Heart.
Spades.
Queen of Spades. Thank you.
She seemed like her head wasn't quite
Yeah,
in the game.
When she first came in, she was kicking some butt.
She has the yellow and
At
black
first.
on. And
Yeah, she looked like she was
She
kicking some
wasn't
butt at
very
first.
impressive as she usually was.
Yeah.
Because she kind of stood there for a while and just watched and laughed.
yeah.
When she first came in, they pushed her to the moon. And the last couple years, it's almost like they're not really doing anything with her.
Right.
We all know how good she is.
Yeah,
Former UFC kick
I
butt.
thought she looked like UFC material for sure.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
she came.
That's where she came
But I
from.
thought she definitely
I
had
don't know what her record was there, but
everything:
she's
the
former
look, the fighting
UFC.
style, the stance, the
She's like a black belt in something.
yeah.
Yeah, she, in a real life situation, Shayna is somebody that you would want to have on your side.
Yes.
For real. Yep.
I was glad to see Michin out there and Zoe Stark.
Yeah.
Zoe, I'm extremely high on her. I see very, very big things coming out of her. Michin, again, they're not. I don't think they're utilizing her right.
I don't think they know what to do with her. I mean, just they look at her and they're like, what do we do with this talent?
Well, I'm hoping, we got to give it a little time too, because Vince McMahon is now finally, hopefully, out of the picture completely.
Yeah.
So hopefully there's no more rehashing storylines. Hopefully the new management people in charge can actually come up with some fresh ideas and make the women's titles more competitive by adding more titles for them. Make it more equivalent to the men.
Around saying they were going to add a secondary women's title.
I still think they need to do more.
Well, I think that they need to start moving them up from NXT to
that too.
Down. Because I went through their personnel list, and it seemed like that they have more on the women's side in NXT than there are in Raw.
Oh, they do.
Combined.
They
And
do.
they got some damn good people down there in NXT that need to be moved up.
Yep.
One person in NXT that I really like is Fallon Henley.
Yeah.
Um,
And I like Tiffany too.
Yeah, and I was really hoping to see her in the Rumble, and also Lash Legend.
Who?
She is
Did you
on.
just say her
Last
name? They were
Legend.
talking about her, I thought.
Last Legend.
She is up there on the same level as Raquel Rodriguez, Jordan Grace.
Who did she?
is a power. She
Oh,
slammed
this-
Otis.
yeah. Caught him. Caught him and slammed him.
Who did?
Lash Legend caught him. He was doing like a cross body, and she caught him and slammed him.
Yeah, yeah.
So even more
Who?
impressive.
Who did she catch?
Otis.
Otis is almost 400 pounds.
Legit.
Dang.
I heard about that. I didn't see
Yeah.
it.
And
I have to go back and watch it. They were talking about it again. I reference Busted Open. I listen to it every day when I'm driving. They were talking about it on there, so I had to go back and Google it and look at it. And I was like, "Holy crap!" She
Yeah.
stumbled a little bit, but hell, I'd probably stumble if someone threw 40 pounds at me right now, not 400. So I'm not going to say a lot.
Yeah, last Legend when she moves up, I fully expect to see her giving that big push.
Yeah, I would have liked to see Cord Jade, but injury. So
Right.
I see her. She kind of like looks like Bianca in a way, but not really.
yeah.
Well, that was the moment that I was going to bring up, that stare down with Jade and Bianca.
That was awesome. And I said they should be a tag team. I texted Jeremy and said I think they should be a tag team going forward.
I think what may end up happening is that those two will have a one-on-one. Do you remember Ice Train and Scott Norton?
Yep. Fire and Ice.
Yes. They had a match against each other, and because of that match, they respected each other so much, they formed a tag team. And even though they didn't go very far, I thought they were a good team. And I
Right.
can actually see that happening with Jade and Bianca. They go at it, boom, boom, boom. And after everything is done, you know what? I think I want you as my tag partner.
Right. Now, and it has nothing to do with this, but they showed a video on Twitter, X, whatever the hell it is now. And it showed Jade and Ivy Wild in the back hanging out because they've known each other forever and flexing and
Ivy
did-
Nile?
afterwards. Ivy Nile, I'm sorry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Get it right. No.
Ivy Wild
like
is an
that
old
a lot.
school up in Colorado Springs, and
Oh,
it
yeah.
got changed into something. So,
Yeah, I like Ivy Nile. I think she's beast.
yeah. I've just gotten to her in the past couple weeks.
I don't know anything of Ivy's past, but
Me
I
neither.
have a feeling that they had worked together before.
Yeah.
Who?
Ivy and Jade.
Yeah.
I mean, I think from like previous, like their bodybuilding careers and stuff,
Yes.
not wrestling wise.
Yeah. Well, Jade's
Not
only
just,
one other place,
yeah.
and Ivy was never there, as far as I know. But I hope with Ivy they don't do to her what they did with Dana Brooke, because that was just a sad story altogether.
Yeah.
Dana Brooke, again, massive talent, but I think what it is that they just have so many people, they don't know what to do with all of them.
I don't think Dana ever quite clicked in the ring with anybody for whatever reason. She never looked like she was comfortable with anybody, or people were comfortable with her, not comfortable with her, maybe. But
That could be too.
whether it was she was a little stiff or maybe too loose or didn't bump her, it always looked like they were just one step off every time whoever it was. But I agree, real talented, but
Yeah. Well, I remember when she would come out, she would always do that little over the head flip thing,
Yeah.
and then she stopped doing that.
Yeah.
But Nia, she has gotten herself in much better shape than she was before.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
I still think she's a little bit too cocky, and that cost her.
I got 2 words. My hole. When she fell last year, she just started screaming "my hole." In case you don't know, Rosie, she fell on her
Okay.
butt and started screaming "my hole, my hole,"
Oh, okay.
and it became a big old internet thing.
I mean, she's got to learn that the minute she steps into the Royal Rumble and she steps into that ring, she's got a big ass target on her back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, because those other women in that ring know damn well, you know, with the exception of last night, of course, that it's going to take more than one woman to throw her out.
Yep.
Yeah.
Dana is in TNA now, by the way, Jeremy.
Huh?
Dana is in TNA now.
Yeah, she is now going by
Ash by something.
Ash by Elegance.
Yeah. I thought she looked like that old puppet Madam when I saw her, honestly. If you remember that old puppet Madam, Joe.
I don't.
You don't. You'll have to look her up. That's what it reminded me of. When I
She-
first saw her, I was like, "What the hell?" It was a bad angle they got of her, but I was just like, "Why is Madam Live's action?"
Honestly, I really don't even recognize her anymore because she has changed so much from when she first came
Yeah,
out.
and I don't mean to be mean, but
That was an ugly doll.
yeah, it was an old, ugly, like glamour 20s style.
And I'm trying to think who the voice was.
It actually sounds
It
similar
was
to
Phyllis
what
Stiller.
Storm is doing.
Remember right?
Yeah, no, it. Yeah, I think the gimmick is supposed to be similar. Yeah,
Yeah, it seems similar to what Tony Storm is doing with all this black and white noir thing.
yeah. Joe, it's Waylon Flowers did the voice. I had to look it up real quick.
Okay.
Of the dummy. Just for Joe's
It's
sake.
pretty big.
So all in all, the women's Rumble match I thought was great from start to finish.
Mm-hmm.
2 people ended up breaking the record that was set by Rhea and Liv last year.
That's freaking awesome.
And especially awesome for Naomi with that being her first match back.
And that, yeah. 2 I wish I would have seen Sasha and AJ, though. And I know AJ's done, but it would have been cool to see AJ.
Yeah. But I was really glad to see how they did this thing. And I was happy to see that Liv Morgan ended up being runner-up again, two years in a row.
Yeah, that means they like her.
Yeah.
She works hard, and she's got a connection with the fans that helps too.
I think she has done a pretty good job at that already.
Yeah.
But she is definitely one of those come back from behind most improved lady wrestlers in the last couple years.
Absolutely.
So I can definitely see her winning a Rumble at some point, as long as she's able to stay on this trend that she's doing now.
Yeah. Or something similar.
Yeah. And I would love to see Jordynne Grace come back. And she did tweet that this was not the last time that WWE fans are going to see of TNA. So that tells me that there is some sort of a partnership going on between them.
Let's hope.
Yeah. Well, it has to,
Forbidden Door.
yeah, let's not get into that one. But they have to, because most under normal circumstances, you got to have that 90-day
Clause.
clause you got to have that 90 days before you can get into the ring anywhere else. For Naomi, that was 8 days.
I think it also well, and that's from WWE to another company. Maybe TNA don't have that going back either. I know WWE has the 90 days, and I'm
I
pretty
still
sure.
think those contracts are going to based on the person.
Yeah, and the person individually can have them.
what they're negotiating with. You know,
I know
And-
AEW does that 90-day thing.
Yeah, and I was gonna say AEW does, and maybe TNA's just being gracious too and saying, "Yeah, go ahead."
I mean, look at the type of talent she is. I mean, you're gonna want to piss her off and prevent her from going someplace else, or when you're trying to negotiate the contract and she's like, I don't want to wait 90 days, I just want to wait a week. Otherwise, you put that in there, or I'm not going to sign, and she's going to draw big money to your federation. Are you going to change the contract or say no?
Right? I mean,
It's not costing you any more money.
even if it is a 90-day one, go ahead and try and prevent me to work in my chosen career path. I'll win in a court of law if you really want to push it. Most of them can go independent and New Japan, and so. But if those are your only choices, then
Even if there was a 90-day thing, they probably decided to let that go because they had Jordan coming in as well.
yeah, that was big to me just because I hadn't seen her in a while. And they said Jordan Grace, I was like, oh my god.
Yeah. And who knows? Maybe Naomi will come in and do something with the bloodline now.
Yeah. Right.
Because when she left, that was when the bloodline was really starting to get hot.
Where'd you run to?
Yeah, her husband's Jimmy isn't
Uh-oh.
still part of the
The door
bloodline.
closed.
Get it.
And that, well, I'll bring that up. I'll bring that up later. So the next match, this was the big surprise because I did not think this match would be going on second, but that fatal 4-way.
Wait. I got a question though for everybody. You think Bailey's actually going to challenge now that she won the Royal Rumble?
She's challenging Io.
I don't see her not challenging Io.
Yeah, I was gonna say, but she's got her choice,
She does have a
But
choice.
I think she's going to go after Io because she's got a better shot at maybe beating her compared to the other one.
It honestly depends if they want to destroy Damage Control or keep them together longer. If they want to keep them together longer, obviously she'll challenge Rhea.
Yeah, but I think Damage Control would still go on without Bailey.
Yeah.
Because those four, because there's 4 or 5 of them, right? In Damage Control now.
Because there's Dakota too.
Those 4 go way back. All 4 of them. They all go way back further than Bailey.
Yeah, absolutely.
Damage Control will survive without Bailey.
Yeah.
I'm just putting it out there.
Right.
Plus, they also did that tease a week or 2 ago.
Yeah.
Becky and Rhea.
Yeah.
Look at the look on Bailey's face the minute Asuka's music played and she started coming into the Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
Yep.
Surprised or disappointed or something.
Didn't even want to.
A little pissed off, maybe too.
Yeah.
Like, what the hell are you doing here?
Next.
Well,
Next.
when the
And
Rumble,
then she expected them to help her.
Yeah.
When-
Remember when we got eliminated? She was like, "We had a plan. We had a plan."
yeah.
Yeah.
When the Rumble started, there were only 11 women announced.
I know.
Yeah.
I think I still agree with you. It would have been more exciting that nobody knew anything. That we all found out the minute they got announced who was coming out.
Like back in the
All
days, like
30,
when
yeah.
Devin won.
Yeah. You have no clue.
Yeah. Because the Rumble sells out itself.
Yeah. Like Mania.
Exactly.
The big 4, they always sell out themselves.
They do. So yeah, I think Bailey is going to go after Io. There is going to be a big blow up, and who knows, maybe Becky will do something and bring Bailey out and say, okay, I know you got your choice, but I really want Rhea.
Well, there is the Elimination Chamber, and they're saying some of that might be for number
Well-
one contenderships for the other one.
I
Like
have a
if
feeling-
so,
What's an elimination chamber?
uh-oh. Jeremy, want to take that one?
Now here's the thing about the Elimination Chamber this year, because it is in Australia. I checked it out. For me, that show starts at 5 a.m,
Yeah.
which means
Oh,
4 o'clock for Joe and Rosie and 3 o'clock for you, Chris.
Fuck
I
that.
know.
what is the elimination
sorry.
chamber
I'm
though?
gonna just have to wait and watch it after they
Yeah.
say you can, I'll have to wait until Peacock says, okay, you can watch it, after it's already
Right.
been. I ain't gonna be
Jeremy,
able
do you want
watch
to
it
explain to
live.
her what a Elimination Chamber is? You might be better at it than me.
The Elimination Chamber is a big freaking cage. It's a thing that comes down and it encompasses the ring, and they have it built up to where everything is on the same level as the ring, including the outside portion. And there are 4 pods, 4 corner pods. Wrestlers go in there, and then 2 other wrestlers will come out and they will start the match. In a way, it's like a Royal Rumble. 2 men start out and they go on, 5 minutes, I think, to
I
start out.
know, and it's random because the light is
Yeah.
above the chamber.
Yeah, and it's random who comes out. It's
Yeah.
2-5 minutes. I've seen them all kinds of different.
Yeah,
And it's made out of chain too, not steel.
And then like
Yeah,
one
but
capsule
chambers
opens
are
or
made
one
out like
corner opens and one
plexiglass.
person comes out at a time after that.
Yeah, they come out one at a time. And it's an elimination style.
And
So
the
like
chamber-
if AJ pins Batista, he's gone, and then
yeah.
Like
And the
a
chambers
kind of like a
themselves
video
that they're
game.
locked in are made out of plexiglass.
yeah.
and it goes and it closes up on top like it's a big dome. And
Right.
some people have actually climbed up to the top and dropped down on the wrestlers, and we're talking 15, 20 feet.
20 feet. Yeah.
People get hurt.
Yeah.
And it's I think they said 2 miles of chain all the way around it.
Yeah. It's not steel bars, it's like chain link. And,
Steel
Wow.
chain link, real heavy.
yeah.
It's
A
It's a
brutal match.
match.
They said Eric Bischoff invented it, is what I heard.
I believe it.
To compete with War Games.
Yes, Eric Bischoff was the one that came up with the idea of it, and Chris Jericho is the one that came up with Money in the Bank idea.
Yeah.
So
I need
Money
to
in
look
the
that up
Bank.
too. I'm sure I can look it up on YouTube, huh? Money in the
Yeah,
Bank.
Oh, yeah. Oh, yeah.
absolutely.
They're pretty fun to watch.
Or the Elimination Chamber. I could look it up on YouTube also.
Yeah. Oh yeah, you could.
Yeah.
And it's already being said that Rhea Ripley, and this is well deserved, Rhea Ripley is going to be the main event of Elimination Chamber because of it being in Australia.
Australia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Her backyard.
Yeah.
Oh, come on. It's got to be Grayson Waller. Come on.
I think Grayson Waller would probably have a problem with that.
The Australian icon. Come on.
No,
You don't like him, Joe?
no, I don't like him one bit. I don't even like that Austin Theory though. If I met them in person, I'd have to somehow stop myself from just slapping the shit out of both of them.
Love it. Who knows? They could be the nicest guys in the world in real life.
Who
I
is
can't
it?
stand Austin, but I am enjoying the hell out of this.
Ooh, too big a hit, bud.
It went down the wrong throat.
Okay, gotcha.
Breaking my throat up.
Okay, I thought you just took too big a Spit out that other pipe.
Ever since I had my mini stroke a while back, I've been having problems with drinking sometimes.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay.
The muscles? Is it the muscles?
I don't know.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I guess so.
Yeah.
But he's still kicking, goddammit.
That's
So-
right. Forever, I'm a vampire.
Pardon my
Don't
language.
forget it.
You're Jason Voorhees.
Yeah.
No, I'm a vampire.
Vampire.
He's a
Edward.
vampire. There
No,
you go.
not Edward. I don't sparkle.
Did she say Edward? How funny.
Carlo.
That was funny.
So the next
Gotcha.
match, I
You're
was
like
very
True Blood
surprised.
style, True Blood type.
The next match, I was very surprised to see his placement on the card. I thought for sure it'd at least be the third match, but they went on ahead and did the Fatal 4-Way match. I don't know. I didn't really get very much into it.
I didn't like the ending.
There was I think we can all agree that it was rushed. They probably expected to go on quite a bit longer than that.
Randy got hurt, I think, legit.
Well,
There.
that plus, like I've been saying, when Roman gets dethroned, it's going to be at WrestleMania, and then he's gone. All right, because he's not in the greatest health. Roman, when he wrestles, he can only go so far. That's not the old Roman. He was really getting the wind knocked out of him a lot,
Yes.
and he had to sit there and recuperate a lot.
On his face. Did you notice?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then, he was rattled, like I said, that concussion. I don't think he's ever, he was like really holding his head a couple of times at a few points there that he was rattled. And that's not the old Roman. Those injuries and the leukemia is catching up with him.
Yeah.
And he might have relapsed. And he's just like, I can't go out like this, I gotta go out on the big stage. Main event Royal Rumble. And you gotta, make it believable, somebody that can beat me.
And I still don't think that's Cody Rhodes.
No,
I don't
I think it's gonna be The Rock. One way or the other, The Rock's gonna get Roman at WrestleMania.
I was gonna say it'd probably be Cody, but it should not be Cody. But
Right.
they have to finish the story.
But with the three guys that Roman has taken on, number one, AJ is in incredible shape.
Yes.
Had never seen him as built as he is now.
Yeah, and he can still move and even faster.
Yes.
I mean, he took that time off and he must have done some kind of working out there.
And he's 46 years old.
Yes. I was gonna say that.
Though.
Yeah,
I thought he was 45, but yeah, 46. You're looking at it obviously, so yeah.
Yeah, he's the oldest one out of them, and one in the best shape too.
Yeah.
Not that any of the other three are not in good shape, but
Right. No, I mean if you just would line them up.
yeah.
Well, Roman would probably be in a lot better shape if he didn't have the underlying condition.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that is going to affect him one way or the other.
Well, yeah, I know firsthand
Yeah.
how it affects you and how it affects the body.
I mean, look at Roman before it got to him, basically. I mean, he was a beast. He was huge.
Yep.
And then after he took that time off,
Well-
you could just see the difference.
I was a big fan of Roman for a long time. I always told my wife that he was the glue that held the Shield together for so long. He kept Seth and Ambrose from beating the shit out of each other. He was like the glue that held them together. And he was also the powerhouse of the group. I mean, that Superman punch and his spear came out of nowhere at times, and he just got better over the years.
He did.
But unfortunately, his strength and his stamina, and mostly his stamina, are shot
Yeah.
compared to what it used to be because of the leukemia and the treatments that he's had to go through.
Oh, I didn't know he had that.
Yeah, I did a lot of research because I found out he was Samoan, and then I had to start doing the research, and then I found out how big that family really was.
That's a huge family.
It's incredible.
Yeah, Yokozuna was the biggest shock. I always thought he was from Japan.
Everybody did.
I did.
They had me fooled, you know.
Well, whatever his parents'
He
backgrounds
was
though.
Samoan. That was Rikishi's brother, I believe. Yokozuna was Rikishi's brother.
Yeah.
No.
Rikishi's the Usos' dad. And then
Uh,
Yoko-
Solo's their brother.
Yoko is
Samoan.
His name. What's also a Chinese or Japanese name too, though.
I can't play.
Yeah.
against the new
It's a title.
That's
But
what I was
because of
thinking.
his
Champion.
size, because of his size, they booked him from Japan, paired him with Mr. Fuji, and made him what do they call that? A sumo wrestler.
Yeah.
Yoko is a cousin to all of them. His father is Afoa,
Okay.
and Afoa is brother to Afa and Sika.
Who are the old wise men now in the tribe?
Yes.
Either way,
Yeah,
he's-
I mean, you
he
can
was
Google
part of
the
that family.
family line. Yeah, you can Google that family line. It's huge if you start including marriages. And
Nia Jax.
you got Rock and Nia Jax and Tamina and Jimmy Snuka. And
Jimmy is not actually in the family.
No, it's just Tamina because of her mother.
right, that's what I'm saying. If
Yeah.
you start including. And then The Rock and Rocky Johnson.
And then you got more of them coming up.
Yep. And that one guy.
Jacob Fatu.
He's a beast. I love him.
He has been training with Booker T. And then you got there's a woman.
You got Rock's daughter.
Yeah, Rockstar. That's it.
Yeah.
I just was reading something about her.
She
He is
became
now
the.
general manager of NXT.
Yeah.
She didn't look like she was very good in the ring. when
Yeah.
she-
Every time I saw her, she didn't.
yeah. So they're probably gonna take her out of the ring for a while and do some more training, but keep her on the camera by doing the general manager.
You say The Rock's daughter, right?
Yeah.
Yes.
What's her name?
Her real name is Simone Johnson, but she goes by Ava on NXT.
Yeah. Ava Simone or something it was. And I think it's Ava now.
Oh, Ava.
It was Ava Reigns.
Yeah,
Ava Reigns.
Reigns.
Thank you.
Yeah, that's it.
Was it Ava Reigns?
Yeah, it's Ava
Yeah.
Reigns.
Yeah, Ava Reigns.
And Jacob.
Rayne.
Close to
Yeah.
Roman Reigns.
Yeah.
So maybe that's why
Jacob.
they dropped that last name.
Jacob became the longest reigning champion in MLW by like a year or something. And then he quit and came to train with Booker, which is obvious. Hello, WWE, because that's usually a pipeline.
He's working on trying to get him in there with them.
Yeah, with the bloodline. There's something going to be happening more with
Yeah.
that bloodline yet before it's
Yeah.
over with.
Yeah,
Well-
this is like the second.
I think they're working on trying to get all the family that they can get to come in, because when they do that Roman and Rock match,
Head of the table.
yeah, how can you not include the whole family?
You have to.
Yeah.
And that's why I think they're doing the whole, again, open door, forbidden door thing. And so if there's one in TNA or something, they can be like, hey, can we borrow him for a night? or AEW. Hey, we'll give you him, and
All I know is they gotta make this WrestleMania the biggest ever. And I think they need to take a lesson from the old school WrestleManias, like back in WrestleMania 1 and 2 and 3 and all of those, where you had like I'm talking not wrestling celebrities, I'm talking big name celebrities as your guest ring announcer, you know,
Pamela
guest
Anderson.
referee, you know, timekeeper, you know, all those different, you know, and do it right.
It's
They
in
really
Philadelphia, right?
did this one right.
Yeah, that's not the biggest place. I mean, seats wise, that's not the biggest place, but you could
No.
do it up. You could do it up real big if you really want to do.
Well, they could. They got the money, they got the power, and what celebrity, you know, how many celebrities do you think would it say, yeah, I'll do it? You know, I'll clear my schedule and be there.
Yeah.
If The Rock is involved, they will.
Well, yeah, but still, it's a 40 years of WrestleMania. That's a milestone. They got to make a big deal out of it.
And that there is no other appropriate time to have Rock and Roman other than that.
Right. Perfect time for Roman to retire or, you know, do what he's got to do to take care of himself.
Right.
Right.
Because, you know, I like Roman and I don't want to see him go to the point where the cancer takes him.
Yeah.
You know, you can only push off the treatments and stuff so far, but it's taking a toll on him. I can see it.
Yeah, yeah. Jeremy was talking about that last night, and I noticed once you said that, like, look at his face and stuff. I was like, yeah, you can see it.
Yeah, as he was walking down the aisle, that look on his face, normally you can tell it's a look of determination. I'm ready to do this. This one here, he almost looked like he was a little bit worried. Now, that could have been because, oh shit, I got 3 of them I got to contend with now. That could be, but I think it's probably more towards the leukemia.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's the other reason I think that Solo got involved
Yeah.
a bit there too. Is you know, Solo's there to kind of keep an eye on him as
we
well.
all knew he was going to get involved somehow.
Yeah, but as far as his, I think Solo has taken part of his job is not just that, but I think he got like word from the tribal elders or whatever to, you know, watch closely, you know,
Yeah.
because if you start seeing this, or this, you know, do something.
Make sure he stays healthier or as healthy as possible.
Because when you've got that and you're fighting this and you know it can kill you, you know, you're going to take these risks a little more because it might be your last chance.
But then at the
Right.
same time, you're more fragile
Right.
too. He's more fragile.
Right. He
Injury,
is. He's definitely more
like
fragile.
chronic or permanent injury. You know?
So he's got to have somebody close enough to him that he will listen to tell him to slow the hell down.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How many
Fam.
times now has he gotten in Roman's space when Roman was talking down at Jimmy? And as soon as he steps in, Roman shuts up.
So maybe there's legit something there, not just storyline, but
Well, that could be the storyline in him, but it's also, you know, you can't be raising your temper, getting out of, you know, that's wasting a lot of energy that you
yeah.
can afford to waste either.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. So like legit plus real life.
Yeah.
And
Like-
then on top of all of that, you got the wise man. He is such a gem.
Who is it?
Paul Heyman.
He's a guy you love to hate.
He does his job.
He's a genius. I mean, he is a genius. You
And
know?
you would be hard pressed to find anybody better on the microphone than him. But you get
Well, he also goes back his
Remember
story.
saying- Yeah, I remember.
I looked it up. His story about how far he goes back with the family is true
There's
and
a
legit.
time. I'm a purse. I'm about to have to go.
Apple.
Sorry, there's too much
He really
testosterone in my
does.
house right now.
He really
There's
does
only
have
males
those
in me.
connections with the family.
Yeah, so
Yeah.
his connection with the family goes a lot further back than Brock.
WrestleMania, you DDP.
And I think AJ was probably the best guy to take the pinfall because it doesn't hurt Well, it wasn't going to hurt Randy because he had turned, although that's probably out the window now. And it doesn't hurt LA because of the momentum that he is on.
Right.
Yeah.
Randy may down the line get at least one more world title, but I'm expecting LA to really hit it into the stratosphere.
Yeah. After WrestleMania, I think LA will start.
Probably. So we may end up seeing a match with Cody in LA.
All right. Or I was gonna say LA might jump to Raw depending on the whole Rock, Roman, Cody.
Oh,
Well, there is the draft,
Yeah.
and they usually do that not too long after Mania.
Right.
but
So
I
Cody challenges Roman and wins somehow, and then they need somebody to challenge Seth, Gunther, CM
So
Punk.
do they do
whoever it
this like
is,
football
and
players
boom.
do? Is it for money or availability?
Do what?
When they move, is it for money, availability, or is it for like potential? Like,
Storylines, injuries.
yeah, storylines.
Injuries. Somebody gets injured. Oh crap.
Somebody has to leave. Like Seth's going to have to leave sooner or
Yeah.
later to get some of that stuff.
Yeah. Yeah.
I think Mania is going to be it for him.
I seriously thought he was going to say goodbye and relinquish the title the other night until he got pushed.
I did too.
But if anybody has to beat Seth for that title, I would like it to see. I'd like to see LA Knight. I think he could carry Raw.
That's what I'm saying.
I agree with that.
But you have to get him over there somehow before Mania.
Right,
again.
right.
Yeah. Because
So,
right now, the way that they have it, you got Gunther and CM Punk on it. So in order, they would have to do something major in a short amount of time to bypass those two and get LA over.
or another fatal 4-way.
Or the or,
Where Seth don't have to work because of his knee too much.
yeah, but you still also got to worry about what's going to happen with that. Somebody's running out of time
Yeah.
to
Yeah.
cash in. He's only got until SummerSlam to cash
Yeah.
in. And
July.
that contract expires. Or no, Money in the Bank. He's got until Money in the Bank.
Yeah.
And then that contract is expired the day before the event.
So was it held on a Sunday or Saturday last year?
I think it was on a Saturday.
So
I think
he's
so.
got until that SmackDown.
Yeah,
So
it,
that's what I was gonna say.
it was in England.
I have a question real quick because I'm gonna have to go, and I don't mean to interrupt y'all at all, but I got boys about to tear my house down. So boys and dogs. I just got Peacock last night so that I could watch that. Does Monday Night Raw come on Peacock after Monday? Like, is it like the next day or like?
No.
It doesn't.
Not live. After the live show, it will. What, about a week or two later?
Yeah. that's
Yeah,
what I'm saying. It doesn't
takes
come
a
on
while.
later.
Yeah.
Like, can you go back on there though and watch the past ones or whatever?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So,
Because I thought I heard Joe saying like you could watch the past stuff that was.
You used to be able to. They used to have a WWE tab on there and all the past stuff and like old NWA and
tab on there.
I'm about to go have a WrestleMania right now. So.
But either way, it's moving to January next year. It's moving to Netflix.
yeah.
Yeah. So yeah.
But I think it'll still be on Peacock as well.
But in the meantime, for Raw and SmackDown, you can catch the highlights. They post them almost immediately on YouTube.
Yeah.
Well, pay per view was going to charge me $55, or Peacock was going to charge me $5.99.
Yeah.
month,
Peacock's the way to go. Yeah.
I went with the
That's why I got
$5.99 a month
Peacock.
because I was like, even if I don't like it after like 1 month, I only lost $5.99, and I got to watch the match that I wanted to watch, the
Right.
show that I wanted to watch. So it's not like a
Right.
big loss.
There's some other good shows on there too. Not to get off topic, but
Sort
there's
of
some other
felt
good
like
shows
that
on
there
there
would be other
too.
stuff on there that we could use.
Yeah, like last month, I got to watch Monk's Last Case. So,
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So I got.
I'm gonna thumb through there. I'm gonna head out though because I've got antsy kids wanting some
Right
dinner
on.
and stuff like that. So thank you for having me on. It was really exciting watching that last night. If it wouldn't have been for you guys, I wouldn't have got to watch it, and it was like well worth my time, for real.
It was enjoyable.
Glad
It
we could be
was.
such a bad influence on you.
Right? No, it was good because everybody watched it. Piper's boyfriend watched it. Lincoln watched it. Piper watched it. We all watched it. together.
Nice. Nice.
Yeah, it was a family thing. Y'all have a good night. Happy
Have a
Sunday.
good one. Bye.
Bye.
And then there were 3.
Yes. We have gone an hour and a half, and we've only covered 2 matches.
Well, I was disappointed with the Fatal 4-Way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think they ended it sooner than expected. I'm pretty sure it was probably supposed to go a lot longer because pretty much all of Roman's matches have been 25 minutes plus.
Yeah.
And I think that they ended it early because of Randy's shoulder. And even after when the match was over, you could see him leaning against a thing and massaging.
Yeah. Like a legit, like, God, not like a fake
Yeah.
for the fans show.
So hopefully it's just a sprain more than
Yeah.
instead of a tear. Because if
Yeah,
that's
you'll see him soon with, it'll just be taped up.
Yeah. I hurt my shoulder so bad I couldn't even move it last Monday. Went to the ER, threw some heat pads on it next day. So hopefully close to the same thing for him.
that is the case, because if he ends up having to have surgery, and that's 4 months he's got to be out.
Yeah. He's got bad shoulders anyway, so.
Yeah, and they were talking about it too.
And so that's why.
When he turned over and started doing that pound to get ready
Yeah.
for RKO, see how he react. Yep, he's hurting it.
He said he did the RKO because of hurt shoulders, so he won't have to pick someone up or something. But to me, it's like, but you're landing right on the back of it. But
Yeah.
but to each their own, I guess. I mean, he's the one doing it, so I guess he knows better than me.
Yeah.
So hopefully that I'm sure it will be addressed
Yeah.
tomorrow night. All right, let's move on to the next match. Kevin Owens and Logan Paul.
That ending, boo.
Yeah.
That's the first time I've ever seen the ref look up like that and be like, and I love how they had the camera focused on it. Just perfect too.
It did. And seeing that friend of his come out,
Yeah.
I don't even know who the hell he is.
That's one of his entourage. That guy, they said that he was there before, and I couldn't remember it. But
Yeah, I remember he was there. He was the one that had the brass knuckles at Crown Jewel, and I think he was also involved one other time. I can't remember. I think it might have been SummerSlam.
yeah. Well, I think when he won it, when Logan Paul won it, I think.
Yeah, that was the last time. He was definitely there because he was crouched down underneath where people could see.
Yeah.
And he was trying to get that brass knuckles, and that was the whole thing that started with Santos.
The match itself was pretty good, though.
It was.
Yeah, up to that point.
Logan can fly.
Yeah.
He can fly.
And that's what I was afraid of. That he when he first showed up, I was like, oh God. But he actually has impressed me.
Yes, he's by far one of the best non-wrestlers to actually be a wrestler.
Yes.
I know a lot of people don't like him, and I don't blame them.
That's their job. His job too, though. I mean, he's a bad guy, so.
I mean, personally, before he even came
Oh,
to
legit, yeah.
Yeah.
No, I didn't like him on his YouTube crap and social media. Nah.
yeah,
but-
well, especially the whole thing surrounding that Suicide Forest.
Yeah,
Yeah, that really put the hurting on him, and somehow he was able to bounce back at least to a point. But I'm expecting something between those two probably at Elimination Chamber.
yeah.
Yeah,
Well,
that
at least-
feud isn't over yet.
No,
Mm,
it didn't end right. I mean, that match for it to be over. That wasn't a
right.
feud over ending.
Now, I know a lot of people are clamoring for Logan Paul and LA Knight at WrestleMania, but they're not going to get there until they get this finished up. And
Right.
honestly, I think that Kevin Owens and Logan Paul would probably be a better fit for WrestleMania.
It depends what they can do with LA Knight.
Yeah, as long as they can keep the interference out, and
Lumberjack match.
and Logan Paul, because they could put on one hell of a match, the two of them.
Yeah.
I mean, look at the punishment that Kevin Owens can take.
Oh man, yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Owens always has been. He's a beast too, in a whole different way.
Yeah,
He just looks like one of us. But damn, he can take that.
And that's what people gravitate to. He's one of my favorite wrestlers today.
he grew on me.
Yeah, same. First time I saw him was in ROH wrestling. Whatever Sami Zayn's name was there, and he beat him. But then he grabbed his little 2-year-old son, not even 2, 6 months old, and put him on top and let him pin him. And so the little kid the little 6 months old got his first victory. And it was so funny. And of course, Sammy was all mad. And I forget his name, Delirious or
El Generico.
El Generico. Thank you. I get those two mixed up.
Hard to believe that he wrestled under a mask.
I know. But anyway, that was the first time I ever saw Kevin Steen wrestle, and I liked him back then. And
What I like about Kevin is that he doesn't do catchphrases or anything like that. He is the anti-catchphrase guy.
Yeah. Ironically, getting him some catchphrases. All I do is fight. Became a catchphrase.
Does is that he uses other people's catchphrases against them.
Yep.
And then there was a video floating around where him and Sammy were going up against Ludwig and Gian, the two guys with Gunther.
Yeah,
And they were doing that whole thing with the back, and Kevin is outside the ring, and he goes, what's all this? It was hilarious.
I always wanted to see when they got fired or whatever, when they went on a brand. I want to see Kevin Steen and El Generico appear. I always thought that would be great. And then it's not them when they finally rip off the mask. Typical WWE, but
They may bring that El Generico thing back for something. I don't know. I keep waiting on that one.
But yeah, I like the match generally.
I thought it was a good match.
I liked Kevin getting up from the titanium boosted punch or whatever the hell they called it.
Yep.
Yeah, Kevin is not your average wrestler, that's for sure.
but the way it ended and him getting caught with brass knucks, that kind of sucked.
Yeah, I didn't like, and you could tell something was going to happen because of the camera angle. You're like, okay, the ref's going to look right at it because they had it already I'm like,
Right.
you never show that camera angle. You never show that camera angle unless they're hiding something.
And I was thinking, okay, he hit him with the knuckles. He didn't take them off and shove them down his pants like everybody else does.
Yeah.
It's right in view. And
That's what I said, but I give you what my wife told me when I said that while
Yeah.
we were watching it. Maybe they were stuck and he couldn't get them off.
Okay. A swollen
His
hand or something.
fingers were so fat and
Yep.
maybe swollen.
I could see that.
I could see that. But usually, yeah, they do. They tear them off, stick them out, or throw them out in the crowd, or
Yeah.
So you know there's going to be at least one more match between.
yeah.
Oh yeah,
Is,
it's not over yet.
is this their first match
Uh,
for the title?
it
Yeah,
is
first
because
title match.
this is Logan's first match since he
Okay.
won the title.
Okay. So could they do like an elimination chamber, and then a rubber match at WrestleMania, maybe?
Well, they would have to do something at WrestleMania, especially if the goal is to get LA Knight to Logan at
Yeah.
WrestleMania. So they would have to settle at some point.
Right.
But unless Logan starts doing full time, like apparently he has signed to be a full time wrestler.
Yeah. I saw that.
Well, he should if he's going to carry that U.S. title. I mean, look at all the others that had the U.S. title that made it so prestigious.
Yeah.
A lot of them did the open challenges.
Yep.
Exactly.
I just want a full-time champion over there. I mean, I know Roman's problems and why he don't show up, but I want a belt that's there every week.
Gunther.
Yep.
Well, they
And
should go back to enforcing those the old school rules
Yeah.
where if they can't defend the title, it gets stripped, and then you got a tournament for it.
Right. I like the reason they say Roman. He signed a special contract and he was smart enough. And
Well, I think that had a lot to do with Heyman helping him negotiate that too.
right. And it's a good way to get around when his leukemia kicks in and he can't. And so,
I think that's why the whole thing with him with the title is because of the leukemia. They can now use that as a way of explaining why he's not on so much.
yeah, that's what I'm saying. I just thought it was a very clever way instead of just being like, well, he's Roman Reigns. He's got a name. Or Brock Lesnar. Or they
But
actually took time to figure out storyline.
and maybe they're going to actually let him leave with some dignity.
That would be very nice, too.
They haven't done that to too many wrestlers in the past.
No.
Honestly, Roman
Yeah.
has earned to have a dignified lead.
And going back to what we've all been saying, now that Vince is gone, because Vince was always the one that was the dickhead.
Well, yeah, he did the
So-
Montreal screw job.
Yeah. He's the one that always, you're leaving me? F you.
Triple H is the one that said, "This is what we do
Yep.
for the Montreal screw job." So that was his idea,
Yeah.
but that was also 26 years ago too.
Yeah. That was a whole clique. And
Yeah, and look what kind of troubles it caused, over the years. I mean, there was a lot of hardship between everybody and Bret Hart over that.
yep.
Shawn Michaels and Bret Hart.
I don't
Yeah.
like. I'd be pissed off too.
Well, if I was Bret
Yeah.
Hart, I'd have been pissed off too.
Yeah,
I mean, Bret Hart poured his heart and soul into that company.
he did.
Yeah.
And several wrestlers had left WWF and went to WCW. Rick Rude did. The Bulldog left. Neidhart left. Crush left.
The cowboy Bret Hart.
I know he hated that. Okay, let's move on to the last match so that we don't end up being a 3-hour show. We're already an hour and 45.
Yeah,
Right.
but the men's Royal Rumble.
Yeah.
You got 2 matches left. No, you got 1 match left.
Yeah.
The Royal Rumble.
Yeah. So I called it Jey Uso number 1.
followed by Jimmy.
Well, I was actually thinking Grayson coming in at number 2, and then when I watched the highlights from SmackDown,
I think that had to happen
his
though.
thing and said no Yeet, I thought,
Yeah.
I'll bet you he's got number 2,
Yep.
and sure enough, he did.
Yeah.
No yeet. Acknowledge. No yeet. That
Yeah,
was great.
if you were paying attention, it interrupted Jay's music as he was coming out. You heard it. He interrupted him a couple of times.
To announce that next person.
So, but I think it had to happen
Yeah, well,
to give them that
what they did with 1
8
and 2
seconds or whatever
was
to
they
fight it out.
double firsts with number 1 and 2. It's the first time that they've had 2 family members, 1 and 2. I was actually hoping they would do that last year with Ray and Dominic, but Ray ended up being hurt. And it was the first time 2 family members started the Rumble, the first time 2 brothers started the Rumble, first time twins started the Rumble. So they did 3 things right there in that one spot.
I don't know. I've been in a rumble with a couple twins. Well, never mind.
Yeah, let's
Is
not.
that, is that foreshadowing for maybe a WrestleMania match, though?
They want a WrestleMania match.
I know that's what I'm saying. Maybe a
I
foreshadowing.
think it's inevitable that Jimmy and Jay take each other.
Whether
out.
it's this year or next year, or
No, I think it's going to happen this year. It's going to have to.
It's definitely this year.
I
Otherwise,
don't think it can wait.
they lit them up last year.
yeah,
And they probably did that because they know going into WrestleMania that it'll be Roman's last time. So it'd be nice to have him there. Well, I'm sure he'd be there anyway.
Yeah.
yeah,
And we don't know the extension of his health. He could end up back, but he's got to lose that title before he can leave.
Now, yep, I've got like 10 of these at home.
I know. I got like 3.
Now, what if there's a swerve? Roman wins WrestleMania this year.
That'd be so awesome. As long as his health can handle it, that'd be awesome.
I would agree. But, wow.
I don't think it'll happen. I seriously don't see it happening.
Yeah, but Punk winning off Roman?
I think it's going to be a tribal thing. I think they're building up to get as many tribal members there as possible in a way to be part of the match, maybe a lumberjack style between The Rock
That'd be so
and
awesome.
Roman. And when it's all said and done and say The Rock wins, it's a way for Roman to go out with some dignity.
Yeah.
Because,
Yeah.
his family's there, because it might be his last match ever.
Yeah.
So if you're Roman and you're thinking, this is my last match, I don't know what's going to happen when I go in for these treatments this time, or if I waited too long or not.
Right.
It would be a great way for The Rock to cap his career as a wrestler.
Yeah.
Right.
And I don't want to sound stupid, but how long do chemotherapy things take?
It depends. I mean, here's the thing about from the time I went through it to now, it's a lot different. There's been a lot of advances.
Right.
Everything, when I did it, it was all IV drugs, and I had to spend time in the hospital. All right. But mine was also found and diagnosed a lot later than Roman's was.
Okay.
Okay. So there's a difference there. But the technology and the advances in medicine have come so far since then that for all we know, he might just be taking pills.
Right. Yeah. That's right.
And those chemo type pills are really affecting, his stamina and his strength and stuff. So that's why he's not lasting long, and he's taking longer to get up than he used to. He's not the same person.
Is that the reason maybe for the triple threats and the four ways, and so he can like get knocked
Right.
down and land the corner for like
Right,
20 minutes?
exactly. Right.
Not literally 20 minutes, but you know.
But right, in that extra few seconds or few minutes to sit there and catch his breath.
Yeah.
And that's
Where-
why he broods around the ring
yeah.
now.
Because he's not that old. I don't
Yeah.
think he's that old.
38.
He'll Superman punch, and then he walks around, and that gives him another few seconds to rest. And
But you know,
yeah, so
I mean, with chemo and stuff today, it's like in some cases it's a pill. You know, he's got to watch it because if he goes too far, he might have a bone marrow transplant,
right.
and then he'll walk around with even more of a compromised immune system than he already has.
Right. So he could potentially recover and come back like 6-8 months.
Oh
later
yeah,
or something.
it's possible. I mean, the guy's in great shape. I mean, they told me I wasn't going to walk again. You know,
You're a fucking vampire, though, dude.
but yeah, right. But when I was diagnosed, I was young. I was 20, late 20s when I was diagnosed. But thing was, they didn't realize that my legs were a lot stronger than they thought they were because I walked miles on my legs for years. You know,
Same when I was young.
I mean, I didn't like taking the public transportation. Sometimes I'd be out too late, so I'd walk home. You know, and you're talking 5-6 miles at 2-3 o'clock in the morning. You know, or I'd go on those things like March of Dimes, Walk America. And, you know, you're talking a good, you know, what was that, like a 30-mile walk almost.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. Yeah. So you're Nosferatu.
So,
Yeah. Sorry, I didn't mean to change. I was just curious.
but yeah.
So, I think I'm positive that they are setting up Jay and Jimmy at WrestleMania. It won't be the first time that it'll be brother against brother at WrestleMania, but I think it'll be the first time that they've had twins fight each other at WrestleMania. And I was close with my original prediction. Grayson Waller came out third. So I just had that feeling that Grayson had to be one of the early ones.
He got eliminated pretty quick too. That kind of shocked me. I figured with the way him and Theory were talking, like, and one of them said, "Oh, and I'll eliminate Austin." Oops. I thought maybe there'd be some where they both come in and they're like,
no.
and they tease him throwing him out. Maybe it was an accident too. I mean, that happens when.
I don't know, you know, it's every man for themselves. You know, you got no tag teams, no alliances and stuff like
Right.
that. You may have those short alliances, but it's funny when you see the backstabbing happen in a Royal
Yeah.
Rumble.
That's what I wanted to see because Jimmy kept doing that time and time again.
On everybody.
Yes. And even the one that he did with Gunther when Gunther chopped Jay down and Jay was doing all that and then doing this little doing that little bit there and Gunther's like knocked him
Yeah.
and when he knocked him down, Jimmy's like pounding.
Yeah. Wonder if he actually hurt him or he just got actually damn.
Either way, that was a great moment.
I would not take a Gunther chop to save my life.
Oh man,
Well, maybe to save my life. I mean, but
people always said that Ric Flair's chops were bad, but Gunther.
Yeah, but how do you know Gunther didn't kind of watch a lot of Ric Flair and learn how to do it on his own? Just with power behind it.
Is that Gunther puts a lot more power behind his chops than Ric Flair ever did.
Well, that's because Gunther's a lot bigger than Ric Flair ever was, too.
He
Ric
is.
Flair does the knife edge, and Gunther does more like the hand slap chop too. A
But
knife edge can hurt too.
Yeah,
if you
I think Gunther's would knock the ever living wind out of you.
Yeah. Right now, no, with my condition. I mean, but if it would like, oh, this will save your family. Yeah, give me one. One. Give me one to save my family. Two, and I loved you, Mom. Sorry.
I think they need to. I think what he needs to do is split from Imperium. I think those two guys are holding him back.
They always tease it because he always gets mad at him because they screw up. And
Yeah,
then
but
they-
the guys, it seems like when they're not there, Gunther seems almost happier, you know, and more relaxed,
yeah,
and he's like having more fun. But then when they're there, he's like stressed out. Where they got to get rid of them before he takes the championship.
I messaged Donald last night. How do these guys not get heart attacks from those chops?
right. I mean, because they're real. I mean, he really lays them in. It's not like a lot of them
Yeah,
that.
see some of the marks on their chests afterwards.
That's what I'm saying. I don't know who it was he chopped last night, but you could literally see like the skin ripple during the match.
Yeah, they start to bleed in spots because it breaks the blood vessels right under the
Yeah.
skin.
In real time, you could see it ripple. Not like a lot of times they'll show them slow motion, but this was a live time one. You saw the skin like, it was like, holy
That might have
shit.
been his because he used a chop to get him out of the ring.
Yeah, I don't remember who it was. I just saw that and my mind just went like, holy crap.
He's got
Just
some
for-
power.
Because Flair does it too, but again, Flair's are little knife edges and not nearly the power, but a lot.
Yeah, well, he didn't have the weight to put behind him either.
Yeah, once he lost all his weight after that, he broke his back. But yeah,
He doesn't have the weight. He didn't have the height either.
No,
Yeah.
he didn't have the height or the weight or the muscle.
yeah,
Gunther's a lot bigger and a lot tougher.
yeah. Two different
Two
styles of
different
chops.
animals.
But again, Gunther had a hell of a show, and he lasted 30 minutes in the Rumble.
I like Gunther more and more. Every time the more I watch him.
I think I'll like him even more when he gets rid of Imperium.
Yeah. And we heard it here first from Joe, by the way, when it happens.
Speaking of Imperium, Ludwig Kaiser. I don't know if you guys noticed this, but when the whole thing with Lashley and Cross happened, and the Authors of Pain came out, and
How he came out all dodging everybody.
did you see him already standing there waiting when that countdown was happening?
Yeah,
You
I
didn't-
did see that one.
Okay, so when they were all going down the ring and they started doing that countdown, you could see clear that entranceway for everybody to come out. And you
Someone was there.
see with their back to the crowd. So
He had the
and it turned out to be Ludwig the way that he always does. And when he turned around, I don't think he was expecting to see those guys right there right away.
he was like, "Whoa, crap!" and stepped to the side. And
And I didn't realize he was going to be in the Rumble either.
yeah. I'm not a Cross fan, by the way, but
I
he don't look like how he's billed as this gigantic monster. Speaking of monsters, but to me, he's just kind of like you look like AJ Styles' big brother with the same mom hair and Soccer's mom hair, and except AJ actually looks better cut than you do.
Yeah, I really don't know what to think of him. I do know that he was a force to be reckoned with when he was in NXT. But when
Yeah,
he got up to the main roster, first of all, they completely dropped the ball
Yeah.
with that getup that he had.
yeah, that gladiator dominatrix outfit.
And now since he's been back, it's like it seems like they're trying to do something big with him, but you just don't see it.
Yeah. I mean, in TNA, at least he looked big. Here, it looks like he's lost muscle mass, and they're still trying to bill him as.
I don't know. I never liked him.
Like
Me neither. So
I do like what they were doing with his wife Scarlett.
I was gonna say the best thing about him comes out behind him usually.
With Scarlett, she had a thing going on with Shotzi.
I like her.
Yeah, they had their I enjoy
I'm a big fan of Shotzi's.
but they had their own paranormal series on YouTube for a little bit.
Yeah, that was nice.
Wow.
Yeah, check it out. It's
Chamber of Horrors.
yes, thank you. I couldn't remember the name.
It is on the WWE YouTube channel. If you go to the playlist tab, just look for Chamber of Horrors and you'll see it. They've got 8 episodes of it. I downloaded all 8 of those episodes. So
And Chelsea's a big old horror fan and does her horror countdowns every Halloween and
and I thought these two are doing what I have been wanting, and that's intermixing wrestling and the paranormal together.
well, come on, don't you remember the zombie wrestled in ECW? Come on.
I don't.
Yeah, he only came out one time, and they handed him a microphone, and he moaned like a zombie. And whoever was on the mic was like, "The zombie's gold on the mic," and then he got his ass kicked by whoever it was. But
The only time I remember anything about zombies was when they was doing that promo a couple years ago.
yeah, and they had that horrible
Zombie lumberjack match.
with the Miz and
Yeah.
no, that zombie thing in ECW was stupid. Actually, that one I'm talking about was horrible. It was just a stupid little moment. And I think he was actually somebody pretty famous and popular, or became. But
I'll have to check it out.
yeah,
Andrade come back.
yeah,
Yeah, that was a shocker.
Yeah, I knew that there had been talks about him coming back, but I didn't know if he was beyond that 90-day thing or not, because AEW would have held him up to that.
Right.
yeah.
But I am glad that he is back. It's just too bad that he came back right after Charlotte got hurt.
Yeah, they showed a picture of her helping in the back get ready.
Really?
Yeah, she had a big old knee brace on and everything, but
Oh, I didn't even see that. I seen some video of her doing her therapies.
yeah.
I didn't see the one of her and Andrade back.
Okay, well, the guy who played the zombie died in 2015. It was on the debut episode of ECW on Sci-Fi.
Okay.
So it was literally like one match, and then
All right. Carmelo Hayes called him coming into the Rumble. Also called Braun Breaker coming into the Rumble.
yeah, I think that was pretty much a given. But yeah, you called it.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing. Dave Meltzer. I know a lot of people don't like him, and I get it. But he's putting out a story that Braun Breaker was originally not going to be in the Rumble, in that he was Brock Lesnar's replacement.
I can see that.
I can see that too because of how Braun was, because that's totally what Brock would have done.
Yeah,
But in this story, he also said that everything that Brock was going to do, they just simply put Braun in that place, which means Dominic is said to have been the one who is going to eliminate Brock Lesnar.
wow.
Oh, yeah, right.
I don't see that going over well.
No,
No.
I didn't even like it when he eliminated Braun, to be honest. But
Well, that guy, he's got a lot more potential than Dominic does for being, generational wrestler or whatever.
Well, to be fair, Braun was probably had been training a lot longer than Dominic because Dominic wasn't until he was 16 when he said, "Hey, I think I want to be a wrestler."
Right.
The only issue I have had with Dominic was he was big and he was trying to do his dad's moves. I was like, once he stopped doing that, a little bit better. I still don't like him, but at least he always looked clunky, like trying to do the 619 and
And this Braun Breaker dude, as I've been watching him on and off. I'll watch him when I flip in and I see NXT on and he's in a match, you know. I've been watching him and he reminds me more and more of his father.
yeah.
You know, and he is going to go a long way because he is a lot bigger and a lot tougher than his dad was.
Yeah.
Well, he also moves a lot quicker than either one of them did too.
And if he learns from the mistakes his uncle made, and forgive me, I mean, I like the Steiner brothers. I like both of them. Okay, but Scott Steiner went overboard with the steroids.
Yes.
Yeah, but his math was awesome.
Yeah, but his attitude sucked out because it causes roid rage and
Oh, I
stuff,
know.
anger issues, and the way that when he was Big Papa Punk, that character kind of sucked.
I agree.
You know, I liked him better when he was tagging with his brother or when he was a solo and he was not Big Papa Pump. He was just Scott Steiner, you know, the college wrestler that.
Yep.
And they were doing moves that nobody had seen before.
Yeah,
Like the
At least not in
Frankensteiner.
the US.
they were great to watch. I mean, they were like the perfect tag team that you would want to be if you were to enter into tag team wrestling.
Somebody was saying Braun Breaker should change his name to Rex Steiner. I was like, that's a pretty good play on their real last name. So
I like his name because even though it is universally recognized that he is a Steiner brother, he's a Steiner,
same. Yep.
but Braun Breaker is his own identity.
Yeah.
Yeah, he should keep it. I mean, he's getting that. He's getting the accolades all on his own this way, and still paying a tribute to his father and uncle by doing those moves. You can tell he was trained by Scott and Rick.
Yes,
He sounds a lot like Scott when he does his promos.
and he is wearing the same type of outfit that they were wearing.
Right.
So you see all
And
of
the
that.
audience definitely recognizes him
Yep.
because they do the, you know, like the dog faced gremlin. That's what he was called. Rick Steiner was called the dog faced gremlin.
Yep.
And he's also been wearing the leather jacket lately too.
Yeah.
So he plays perfect tribute to his family and keeps his own identity. He's just fine the way he is.
Absolutely. I'm just saying I could have seen the name change just to do that, but
He's going to go a long way.
he will.
He is. He's definitely going to. I would say within 5 years he will be WWE champion.
As long as he can be careful and not get injured.
Yeah.
Well,
He does a lot of those little, I don't know, flying hot spot moves, spot monkey moves sometimes.
He's
And
got a couple of people, you know, that probably told him a lot of things, you know, and taught him a lot of lessons, not just the wrestling lessons, but, you know, Rick had to retire early because of injuries.
yeah.
And what, you know, the damage caused to his body.
now, like Braun is.
You know, so if they, like, you know, you listen to the doctors and stuff, like, you know, they probably didn't listen to the doctors and wrestled injured a lot. They probably gave him all kinds of things so that he didn't make the same mistakes.
Well, yeah.
So go a
Look,
long
even
way.
like you talking about your therapy, though. I mean, back then, rub a little WD-40 on it, get back out there, even though it's a tear, you know? Here, put the sleeve on your knee, get back out there.
Right.
And now it's like, oh, you hit your head? No, we're keeping you out to make sure, you know, we're not going to let you go out there and wrestle until we make sure it's not a.
And today they got to be more careful because,
Yeah.
you know, today it's not like, oh, this is just, you know, it's sports entertainment, not like they're, you know, it's
Yeah.
supposed to be different and safer.
Yeah.
You know, I mean, they're not letting them cut themselves outside the ring like they used to, hiding a razor blade in their thing. And, you know, they're not letting them do that because they get paid good money now compared to what they did back then.
Unless you're John Moxley.
Right.
Or Ric Flair, who opens up just talking about it.
Yeah, I don't know where. Not even going to talk about that.
Yeah, whole nother show. Whole nother show.
Now we had brought up Dominic, and he was in there for 33 minutes last night.
He seems to make a good showing every
Yeah,
time.
he was in there for almost 30 minutes last year too.
Besides his attitude towards his father, which I don't like at all, and I'm sure, you know, most of the universe agrees with me because they don't let Dominic talk. But I am going to say this. Him joining up with the Judgment Day has done wonders for his wrestling abilities.
It has.
Yeah. That's what I'm saying. Whatever they taught him, but plus when he became heel, then he stopped doing daddy and became a lot more. It looks more real on him the way he wrestles now than.
And plus,
But he's still, in my eyes, a big joke because, you know, the way he makes he couldn't have been in a holding cell for all but 3 hours, but now here he's a prison convict.
God, I hate that. I hate that every time. And Corey made reference to it again last night at something.
but you got to admit, it gave him one hell of an entrance at WrestleMania.
Yeah. Okay. Yep.
He was one of those lucky few that was able to get a tailor-made entrance.
It was a good entrance.
Wasn't he also the only one that was spanked in the middle of the ring?
But you know what? We knew that was coming. It made perfect sense. But and I know that nobody liked how that whole thing came about. But when you really think about it, you never really saw a father-son feud quite like that. Now, we did with Vince and Shane, but this was a completely different level.
Yeah.
I mean, Vince and Shane were just a couple executive wrestling wannabes.
Yeah.
Well,
You know,
well, we know Eddie's his real dad anyway, so come on. Uncle Ed's bedtime stories.
That's the other thing too I don't like about Dominic
From 2005.
Yeah.
is his little disrespecting, or as how he says he you know, yeah, I don't like that.
Yeah.
You know, he don't deserve to do that, like, and pay homage to Eddie Guerrero. Eddie Guerrero would be kind of upset about the whole thing.
Well, from what Dominic has said in interviews, is that he has talked to Vicky Guerrero about it, and she has given him the okay to do all of this stuff that he's been doing.
Besides, then we want to have I'm Your
Yeah,
Mommy.
and behind the scenes and behind it all, there's been pictures of him and his dad, you know, like typical father and son outing things, you know.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we all know that part of it's scripted, but his character his wrestling character, I don't like what they did with it.
I'm pretty sure that if Ray had a problem with it, they never would have done it.
Oh, they would have never done it, but it's just that, you know, being a father myself and the way he keeps disrespecting his father.
Right.
Right. I get what you're saying.
I mean, after the feud was over, they were done with the feud part of the storyline. He should have stopped with that part.
but right now, this does give Dominic his own identity, and I think that his in-ring abilities have gotten better. But
That's all because he joined the Judgment Day.
Yeah.
but he still has a way to go. But he is a lot better than what he was when he had that first match with Seth Rollins.
I think
But-
they need to work on his character some more too.
But how much time has he spent in the Uso penitentiary?
I don't think we're going to see that for a while.
I know. I'm just saying, how much time had he spent there, though?
I love that part of those guys. Welcome to the Uso Penitentiary.
Right? They changed a lot, too.
I love that part.
Yeah. I was watching the other day when they were talking to Judgment Day about that. And they were like, hell, we even locked you and your dad down. That's how this whole thing started for us. I was like,
But
yes, I forgot that.
Dominic, I'm very happy with how he has progressed because
Yeah.
he just keeps getting better and better and better. But speaking of Judgment Day, oh man, R-Truth.
Poor old Truth. Guess he didn't sell enough T-shirts that night.
Wow.
You were short on cash.
Yep.
Where's your cut? It's a little short.
JD McDonough.
Poor guy.
They
An RKO. And then,
R-Truth throws him in there, and he turns to start yelling at him. Then all of a sudden, he turns around because he's getting clotheslined. They should have done something different with that because that just did not look right.
was R-Truth pointing up, though? Like, I thought I saw that. Like, R-Truth going, hey, there's somebody, you know.
I
But
think
I agree with you. It did look wonky.
I tell you, I think he's just there for comic relief. Okay. I think it's R-Truth is too old and got some health issues that you won't be seeing him wrestling, but it's in his blood so much that he wants to be part of it. So they've got him I mean, he is not anywhere near as stupid as he's portrayed on wrestling.
No, he's brilliant.
I mean, that guy is really a lot brilliant. And if you heard him talk in interviews outside of wrestling, you'd be amazed. You know.
Well, he's also still putting out rap songs.
Yeah.
So
In
So,
fact,
you know,
at least one over the winter, I think.
so
I mean, yeah.
they just don't want to take the risk of him getting hurt too much.
Well,
He debuted in 1999. Dang.
before he got hurt this last time, he was still moving a lot better than most people in their 20s were.
Well, he's in good shape for his age. He's in his 50s.
Yeah.
He's
younger than I am, but he's still up there. And his body probably been through a hell of a lot more punishment than mine was. You know.
Wow.
Sure doesn't
He
look
spent 3 months or 13 months in prison, it says.
yeah.
When he was younger. When he was younger, obviously. But yeah.
So it just like Booker T.
Yep.
He was in jail for a while, and look at the career that he made out for him.
Absolutely.
Yeah. But at the same time, look at how that just to look at dark side and devil's side of this, look how it turned out
Yep.
for Booker's brother.
Yeah.
I don't really know much about Steve.
Well, drugs, what happened, he got addicted to drugs and painkiller, because of the pain and the injuries. And, they give him codeine, Percocet, all that stuff you get highly addicted to.
Been there.
And him and Booker had a falling out or something over it or whatever. And eventually, somewhere along the line, Stevie Ray got clean and they mended, before they were inducted, the Harlem Heat was inducted. They had mended their ways and stuff. But the whole thing is, Stevie Ray learned the lesson of, it's not for me.
That's
You know.
important.
When you
He
think
only did it for his brother to begin with.
when you think about Harlem Heat, Booker T only got into wrestling because Stevie Ray was trying to be a wrestler.
Right. What I knew it was one of them did it because of brother, but Stevie Ray said after a while, he said after that drug run and then he had to get clean, fight to get clean. He's like, I'm not going back.
And Booker T ended up getting the kind of career that he did. It in many ways, it's very reminiscent of Charlotte because she never intended to be a wrestler. She only started wrestling because Reed had passed away, and now the career that she's got.
Yeah, she's about to. I think when it's all said and done, when it comes to Charlotte, she is going to surpass her father.
She was a very natural athlete since day one, too, though.
Yes.
You know, and you know, I like the way they did that too, where they, came out right away and called her Charlotte Flair instead of making her be somebody else, But her real name's like Ashley.
Ashley, yep. Ashley Fleer.
But I think, when it comes to like that record that he holds, what is it, 17-time world champion or 16-time world champion or something like that.
Yeah.
It's 16, but in reality, it's more like 21 or 22.
It's ones they don't recognize, so.
Yeah, they don't recognize some of the titles. Yeah. Anyway, I think she's going to surpass that.
I think so too.
I mean,
Nice.
she's already close to that, whatever the 15 or 16 or 17 that WWE acknowledges. She's already close to that herself.
Right.
But here's the thing about with Charlotte. Hers is in a much smaller time frame.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know. But just like Randy, though, she's just like Randy, surpassing his father and everybody that came before him, and he did it in a short period of time.
Well,
Yeah, I mean,
he is a much more much more athletic than his father ever was.
right.
Yeah.
And I think Randy did it without the help of steroids. I think Randy's all natural. And the other thing is about Randy is, he broke that record. What was he? The youngest heavyweight title holder when he won it?
Yes, he was until Brock. Yeah, until Brock did it.
Yeah.
But still,
But nobody will ever
it goes down the record books and he can't take it away from him, on that date.
Yeah. But no matter what, nobody will ever beat Nicholas.
That's right. Nicholas.
But I said when Randy first appeared that he was, and he did it in a very quick amount of time, surpassed his father and his grandfather and all their accolades.
Right.
Combined.
Now, the hot tag.
That was funny as hell. I loved it.
It was. And across the ring, there was Cody hiding there in the corner, and he's watching all of this happening.
The hot tag was the best thing, dude. That was the best. A hot tag in the Royal Rumble.
Why not? He brought the ladder into the Royal Rumble.
Yep.
So might as well bring in the hot tag out. Nobody's ever done that before, so.
Yeah, just leave it to R-Truth.
And I love Dominic selling into it and buying into it all too and diving at him and
Yeah, that was You know,
Not just like walking over there like, here you go, you idiot. Or
yeah, but just to play along. I mean, come on.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
That was kind of cool.
He didn't walk over there like, here, you fucking dumbass,
Yeah,
or
he
anything
dove
like that.
at it, like, yeah.
He dove like a literal hot tag. I mean,
Yeah. Oh man, when R-Truth retires, that's going to be a sad day.
Yeah, it is. It is because when they brought that guy in, years ago, Doink the Clown, for comic relief, and he was a wrestler as well.
Matt
Not
Bourne.
R-Truth has done a lot better.
Yeah, Doink, not at first, not for comic relief. He was the
No, but they started, towards the end and stuff. He's bringing out all this crazy
Oh,
shit,
yeah.
doing all that crazy shit. I know the guy was miserable because I saw the Dark Side of the Ring about the real Doink the Clown behind the scenes. The guy was miserable, but still,
Right.
I mean, R-Truth has done it without really changing his character.
I know.
Yeah.
At first,
I mean, it goes to show the brilliance behind that mind.
Oh crap. Okay, guys, I'm gonna have to take off. I have to go pick up my friend. His car broke down.
Oh,
Okay.
shit.
So, if you're still on when I get back, I'll rejoin. But
Hopefully not.
it'll be like 10 or 15 minutes. So.
I'm going to try not to be.
Right. Anyway, boo Cody Rhodes, boo Punk.
No kidding.
Not either one. But it was a pretty good Rumble overall. I'll sum that up.
Well,
Yeah.
I have to disagree with you on the booing of Cody and Punk.
Yeah, I'm not a Punk fan at all. I'll just sum that up right now. Never have been.
Yeah.
Cody, he finished his story last year. Anyway,
Not
you can
yet.
yell at me off air. Off my air anyway. Have a good one, guys.
Chris.
Thank you for letting me join. Hopefully I can join another time again as well.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. Have a good one, guys.
You too. So with R-Truth, and then Damian Priest finally comes in, and he just hammered the hell out of R-Truth.
Yeah, I think he had enough.
Yeah, oh, and Pat McAfee. So
That was funny.
It seemed like he was the replacement for Brock, not Braun.
I don't know. That would make more sense since he didn't even know he was in it.
Yeah.
I mean, he wasn't dressed. I mean, he had cowboy boots on, snakeskin boots.
And he still was able to climb those ropes with those cowboy boots.
I don't blame him for what he did. I don't. If I was him, I wouldn't want to be in that ring with Omos either.
No.
And Omos looked like he had a lot to prove for a moment there.
He's been doing that the last couple Rumbles.
But it didn't go too well for him.
No. I was really surprised to see Omos in there. I was not expecting him at all because he hadn't been on TV in months. But he had been doing the live shows with Akira Tozawa.
Well, it doesn't surprise me. I think MVP had something to do with that because now that Bobby Lashley kind of did what he did, and he's got what were they called?
The Hurt Business.
No, the two dudes. That's with Bobby Lashley.
Oh, with the Street Profits?
The Street Profits. Now that he's got the Street Profits as part of him and kind of revamping the Hurt Business, yeah. Here comes MVP to rain on his parade.
Yeah, I don't know what's going to happen there.
I'm just saying, it's just like MVP though. You know, and he could probably run his mouth. I invented the Hurt Business, blah, 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 blah. You know, I could just see it going that way.
Yeah, he was originally supposed to retire completely 4 years ago, and then somehow they talked him into doing more.
Well, how many times was Ric Flair going to retire?
You know, sure.
Sure.
But
It's-
I think that they probably brought Omasa in so that they can remind people, hey, he's still here.
Yeah.
Uh,
Yeah. Yeah. You can't forget about this giant.
Right.
I mean, they lost the one. I mean, I don't think we're going to see Paul White again, aka the Big Show.
Probably not. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But
People,
he has his more under control because the science is getting better.
people have been leaving AEW and coming to WWE, so maybe Paul will come back. I don't know.
Who knows? I mean, but
And then CM Punk comes in at number 27.
Mr. Chicago.
Yes. He came in at 27, which was the coveted number.
Yeah.
So that made perfect sense for him to come back at 27 because even his first run, he was all about that nostalgia, bringing in the ice cream bars and all of that. So it makes perfect sense for him to come in at number 27.
Yeah, and also that was they said that was the same arena he walked out 10 years ago from.
Was it?
Yeah.
Didn't realize that. Let me.
They were talking about it. I believe. My memory gets a little faded.
Nah, that can't be. Unless I'm looking at the wrong Rumble here.
Either we're talking about during the pre-show or the kickoff show or whatever it was.
Okay, because the Rumble where he had his last match
No.
10 years ago was in Pennsylvania.
No. He walked out from wrestling for good. That wasn't at a Rumble, was it?
Well, that was his last match.
Yeah.
That
When
was
he walked out for good 10 years ago, it was at that location that the Rumble was at last night.
wow.
That's what they were saying.
Wow. But I was kind of iffy about him coming back, especially after the whole deal with what happened in AEW. But they're giving him a chance. So let's see what happens. Then Sami Zayn came in at number 30.
Maybe he got a good lecture from his wife. Yeah, I mean, I know we're never going to see her in wrestling again because she's a very successful author or something. She's got a very successful life outside of wrestling.
Yes. She's actually a part of another organization as some sort of talent manager.
Yeah, but I also heard she was an author too.
Yes, she is. I need to check her book out too. Yeah,
But anyway,
I'm sure that's got some stories in it. There were a lot of people that were hoping that she was going to be in the Rumble this year.
no. She definitely said, I mean, she's more determined than CM Punk ever was. I mean, When he left, it was like it was a cold. He's like, it'll be a cold day in hell if I ever return to WWE. You know, he was saying things like that when he left in interviews afterwards.
Oh, he was in a pissed off mood.
Yeah, he was, and I said the only way he was ever going to come back is if Vince didn't have a part of it anymore. And here he is.
Yeah, here he is. He came back just before Vince didn't have anything anymore. So who knows? And then Sami Zayn came in at number 30. He had been out for a couple of months now. He asked for some time off. And the crowd, at first I didn't notice it when I watched it last night, but I rewatched the two Rumbles today, and Sammy had a hell of a reaction when he came back. Last night I didn't really notice it. It seemed like a lot of the times the crowd was drowned out. Like maybe sometimes they got too loud and it affected their sound system. I've seen that before.
Yeah, and I think that's got a lot to do with when the Bloodline was a crowd favorite for a while there.
Yeah.
And Sammy was part of it. I think that's where the audience really accepted Sami Zayn finally.
Yes, it was.
And because of how he parted from there, it still held the audience's respect.
Mm-hmm.
So,
and it's kind of fitting, really, because the Usos were the ones that started the Rumble, and Sammy was the one that ended the Rumble.
Yeah.
And Sam, he was only in there for 3.5 minutes, but he looked strong in the Rumble. Finally.
He's gotten better, and I think that also helps with his confidence.
Yes.
You know, where the crowd accepted him and has continued to accept him ever since the Bloodline moment.
I still feel that Sammy should be those considered to be the right guy to beat Roman. I still think
I could see that in the storyline because in a way he's still got that bone to pick like a hell of a lot of people do.
yes.
But I kind of still am more partial to ending it in a grand gesture, like, and I know it's just a dream because WWE doesn't really have that good of imagination. I hate to say it, they rehash too much, but the idea of having all those tribal elders out there and The Rock versus Roman Reigns, I mean, that would blow the whole roof off the place and then some.
Especially if a lot of them started fighting amongst each other.
Yeah, because they're choosing sides.
Yes. Also, another thing that I realized today that I didn't last night was that Jimmy Uso was number 2. His wife Naomi was also number 2 in their respective Rumbles.
I bet she is just thrilled to be back.
You could see it on her face.
I mean, now she can. I mean, you got to realize that probably tore her and Jimmy, well, to phone conversations and maybe meets here and there in between cities, you know?
Yeah. Oh, I know it could not have been easy for them.
No.
But they're not the first couple to go through something like that.
Oh, no. It took Renee a while before she left WWE and showed up in AEW where Ambrose is. She was the announcer. Renee.
Oh yeah, Renee.
She was announcer for WWE, and now she's over there in AEW.
And Andrade was in AEW when Charlotte was here.
Right.
There was a lot of speculation that Charlotte might jump ship.
No, they couldn't afford that.
They
There's
would
no way the WWE would have been able to afford that.
no, because she would have taken a lot of attention over there.
Oh yeah.
Well, Andrade took some attention over there too, but nowhere near the scale that Charlotte would have.
Right. And I think she's just too valuable of an asset to WWE, and she still is so close. I don't know if she'd personally want to leave. It'd probably have to, the dollars would have to be right, I guess, or something, because she's so close to breaking some of those records,
I know.
passing her father.
Well, the thing is, as far as the world titles go, they don't have to be all WWE.
Right.
It's just funny though, because Andrade just left AEW to come back to WWE. Ric Flair just signed on to AEW. It's just really weird how
Ric Flair just signed on to AEW.
yeah,
What the fuck for? Excuse me.
to be a part of Sting's last match.
Oh,
Yeah.
I can understand that.
Yeah, he wanted to be there to be with Sting.
So maybe in a corner, like a manager or a buddy,
Yeah, something like that.
because I could see that, because I remember Sting and Ric Flair had some of the most iconic matches, and their feud between each other lasted forever, it seemed like.
Oh,
But
yeah.
they had some of the greatest matches ever.
Well, Sting and Flair were in the
NWA.
Sting and Flair in the NWA were the equivalent of what Hogan and Savage were in the WWF.
Did you see that guy in the audience dressed like Savage?
I did.
That was cool.
I saw him. I saw the green shirt guy, and I also saw. I'm pretty sure I saw him. The Brock Lesnar guy. He was sitting a couple rows behind the green shirt guy.
Well, I wasn't paying attention to that Randy Savage guy just he just stood out. He was right there in front,
Yep.
front row.
Somebody was asking me, I think Donald was asking me if I thought Vlad was going to be there. I'm pretty sure he probably was, but I don't know. But the men's Royal Rumble started off really, really good, and then it seemed like it kind of tampered down, and then it started getting exciting again.
Yeah, I think the whole thing, that the way it started was to start the storyline for those two to feud.
Oh yeah.
And and it was kind of funny if you looked at it, because it seems like some of these wrestlers, if you really pay attention to their facial expressions and stuff, you can tell that they're a little laughing about it there. They had a little bit of a giggle or a smirk on when they were sitting there talking to each other before they actually started duking, started fighting. For those few seconds, it was like, they're really brothers and close, and this is not real. You can sense it.
You could tell that Jay was fighting from laughing because of the look that Jimmy was giving him right there at the beginning.
Right.
And how anybody was able to keep from laughing while R-Truth was in there. I don't know. R-Truth has been known to break a lot of people. Sammy's
Brock.
broke a lot of people.
Yeah, but didn't R-Truth break Brock?
He did.
Brock's whole character.
He broke Brock, and Brock had requested, "Hey, I want to work with him," and for whatever reason, it never happened.
Yeah.
But all in all, it was a good show, not a great one.
I've seen better.
Yes, the women's rumble
Was
carried
better.
the whole
Yep.
show.
Yeah, see, and that also had a lot to do with the fact that there was more of them unknown to us. We
Probably,
didn't know.
yes.
Yeah, we didn't. They had more of them shadowed out. We didn't know exactly. We could predict all we want, and that's what they can. They need to do that on both ends,
Yes.
and that show would have been awesome. But yeah, the women's Royal Rumble should have been the main event.
You see, Becky Lynch was the last woman to come out that had been announced previously, and she was at 21. So there were 9 women after her that nobody knew. Oh, no. Meechin. She was the last one to come out that had been announced, but she was announced the night before. So Meechin came out at 25, so everybody behind her were surprises.
No, I like I said, that match was my favorite of the night.
It was. Mine too. It was the best one of the night.
Had the most surprises. And what I mean by surprises is, I mean, you get that chick, the heart knockout champion from TNA, and then you got Naomi coming in all of a sudden too. It's like, come on, you couldn't get any bigger than this. I mean, this place. I mean, it was the best, and then. I think I had more fun watching that one. My wife and I had more fun watching that one than the men's, by far.
Let's see. Bianca Belair came out at number 10, and she was the second person who came out Ivy. I forgot about Ivy. Ivy came out at number 8. She was the second person to come out that had been announced before.
Bianca Belair's hair was all over that ring.
Yes, it was. I
By the
noticed
time
that.
it was done, and outside the ring too, by the way.
Yeah, and that was also an interesting way of the elimination, how Tiffany was keeping herself from being eliminated by holding on to Bianca's hair.
Yeah.
Oh boy. Eventually, she is going to cut her hair.
She needs, I've been saying that. I really like Bianca Belair. She has got a style all of her own.
She does.
She is quick as hell, and she can think quick on her feet. But that damn ponytail thing is really gotten in her way a lot and cost her matches.
And she's also used it to her advantage because they can't
Right.
consider that as a weapon.
Right, but she could get away. She could still, if she got rid of it, she don't use it as much and as advantage as people use it against her.
Yeah.
And so it would make more sense for her to get rid of the damn thing.
I saw something where she had been contemplating cutting it, and Montez Ford talked to her into not cutting it.
Dumbass. Obviously, the son of a bitch doesn't watch his wife's matches. enough.
I think it's more because of the identification with her and her hair. People identify her because of her hair. Because nobody
I
has
get that.
ever wrestled with that long of hair before.
I get that. So if you don't want it, well, I don't know. I mean, I always thought she should just keep it as like a clip-on or an extension so that she could take it out as the match starts, so that she can't be used against her.
I've wondered if that hair was a clip-on, but I don't think it is.
No, I think the way it was wrapped is why it was falling out and people using it like against her again, or to their advantage to keep from falling out of the ring.
But even though we have seen some big things from her, I think we're still going to see big things from her.
Well, I think we'd see bigger things a lot quicker if she got rid of that ponytail. I'm serious. How many times have people used it to tie her to the ropes?
Yeah. I've noticed that too.
Or have used it, when you get one of them bigger, stronger women in there than her or something, and they used it to whip her across the ring with it. I mean, the advantages or the disadvantages in this case outweigh the advantages.
And plus the maintenance on the hair.
Could save her a bundle in money.
Yeah, it would. But
It is what it is.
I forgot what I said.
Last thing I want to talk about before we wrap up here, because we are coming up on 3 hours now.
Oh,
Kofi Kingston did not do one of his miraculous saves this year. I think he's finally gotten to where, I've done it too many times. Enough is enough.
yeah. I
Yeah.
think he's got other things in mind yet. That winning the Royal Rumble wasn't part of it.
Well, people want to call him Mr. Royal Rumble, and he says that he can't take that name because he hasn't won one.
Right.
So I agree with that. But that does not mean he is not a highlight reel on his own of the Royal Rumble.
No, that guy has got plenty of highlights in and out of the Royal Rumble.
Yes.
So
He is a former WWE champion, and that's something that not a whole lot of people can say.
tag team champion, Intercontinental. I think he's held a lot of the belts.
Yeah. I think he has held the Intercontinental.
I don't think he's what do they call that when they hold them all?
Okay, WWE Intercontinental, the United States champion, Raw tag, SmackDown tags, the World tag. He's also had the NXT tag team.
Yeah, so he's one of those champions. They've got a name for that, huh?
Well, he's okay. Yes, he is a Grand Slam champion.
Yeah, that's it. He's a Grand Slam champion. Yeah, because in order to do that, what was it? You have to hold four different titles.
Yes.
I think the rule is for that, and he's held every title there is.
Yes.
So
So
yeah, so there's not much more he can really do except be the best Kofi he can be.
Yep.
Well, he's held every title.
There's really not much that he needs to do to prove. He doesn't need to. He's 42 years old, so technically he's still got some years left in him.
Oh yeah.
And he's now at number 2 all-time appearances in the Rumble for 16. And he is behind Kane only by 2 years.
So, he's got records to break.
Yep.
But see, thing is, maybe if going for those titles and concentrating and focusing on titles takes the fun out of it for him. You know, that guy looks like he's all about having fun.
He is.
You know, he really looks like he has a blast when he's in the ring.
Especially when he has Xavier and Big E with him.
Yeah. I can't wait for Big E to come back.
I hope he does come back. I was actually hoping that he would have.
He's playing it safe.
Yes, he is. Well, he
All
had,
right, because of his injury.
yeah, because that was a very scary injury that he had.
And it wasn't, what's his name? It was written by somebody else, but they interviewed Big E, and he wants to come back, but he doesn't want to rush it. He wants to play it safe, and he wants to make sure he's in the best shape he could possibly be in when he gets back.
Well, it really helped that he was in a very best shape that he was when
Right, but all I know is what was said, and man, one of the things he misses the WWE and being, you know,
Yeah.
so he's coming back. He's definitely coming back, you know, and he's going to be back with Kobe and Xavier Woods. Now there's a guy that's come a long way too.
he has. He's won King of the Ring. And that was his goal. That was his top goal. Everybody wants the world title. Everybody wants to win the Rumble. He wanted King of the Ring.
Yeah. While we're speaking of the New Day, do you remember who introduced Big E? Brought Big E to WWE in the first place?
Dolph.
No, I thought it was AJ.
Well,
CM Punk's wife.
Big E came in together with Dolph.
No,
Yeah.
because I thought she had him like as her bodyguard for a while.
No, he was actually Dolph's bodyguard.
Well, he ended up her bodyguard then after that,
But
I think.
that he probably did. But I remember that Dolph had AJ in his corner, and then he brought in Big E to be the bodyguard. So, okay, so Xavier's won the Raw tag, SmackDown tag, NXT tag, and the King of the Ring. So he has not had a singles title yet, and he's due.
Oh yeah, he's due.
Yeah. Kofi's had the world title. Big E has had the world title. Now it's Xavier's turn. So with that, Royal Rumble, it wasn't a great pay-per-view, but I thought it was a good one.
Yeah, it was a good one. The women's did the, you know, made it worth watching.
It did. I still think that the wrong person won it. I think it should. Here he is. Hey, Chris.
Yeah, I didn't like the fact that Bailey won it either, but
I was pushing for Bailey, either her or Jade.
yeah, I would have liked to see her. That would have been cool as hell, and another kind of like come in out of nowhere and win the Royal Rumble.
That's what I was kind of hoping for, that
And then,
and win it in her first match.
and then have her go after Rhea Ripley, because that would have been a hell of a match.
Yes, it would.
That's what I was hoping for.
And we'll still see it.
Oh, I'm sure we will, but
Yeah.
that would have guaranteed it.
And I still think that the wrong person won the men's rumble. Cody's had his time. I think CM Punk or Gunther should have won it. And I think an argument could have been made for Sammy to win it too.
Well, here's what I think about this. If Cody's smart and, He's been known to make a lot of bad decisions lately. But if he's smart, he'll go after Seth.
I said that.
He'll have a better chance of getting the title from Seth because Seth is hurt. Seth needs time off anyways.
Yeah.
Now Cody can finish his story.
But that's not the right title that he wanted, though.
Well, that's too bad. I'm just saying. That's my opinion. And I'm sticking to it.
Now, unless something happens and somebody convinces him, hey, go after Seth, like Rock, I want Roman. So
Or management. You know how much money they're going to make off of Rock versus Roman for the title at WrestleMania?
I know.
You know, I mean, they can't stand to lose that money. And Seth needs a break as well, so they both need to lose their titles. And what better person to take the title and lead Monday Night Raw than Cody?
Right.
Surprise entrance. John Moxley comes back and unites the belts.
You know, and if they and if they want to do it so bad, and have Roman leave, and if The Rock doesn't want to hold on to the belt so bad, well, then have Damian come and cash in. But make sure that match is a real slobber knocker, that both Roman and The Rock are kind of like on their last legs and gone through their like third and fourth wind, you know.
Yeah, they definitely need to figure out something for Damian.
He's running out of time. He's only got until the day before the next Money in the Bank event, and that contract inside expires.
Yeah. So, yeah, it's just getting ready to start wrapping up, Chris.
That's okay.
Yeah.
And between now and then, I think what they're going to have to do is make him separate from Judgment Day.
It was. I don't know if you guys looked it up, but last Money in the Bank was July 1st of last year.
Okay, so he has until
End of June, basically.
June 30th.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's see here.
It's on a Sunday.
All right.
So, I mean, he could do it 2 days before, literally. He could do it on June 29th if they have a pay-per-view that day.
Well, either way, he sits there. He's running out of time.
Yeah, exactly.
So he's got to do something. So
Money in the Bank this year is going to be on July 6th.
Okay, so is it a date or the pay-per-view he has till?
I think it's like the day before the date, the same day Money in the Bank is the contract expires, or it's 1 year exactly from the date it was.
Yeah, I'm not really sure.
All I know is they've got 1 year.
Yeah.
So that's roughly a ballpark figure to when he has to absolutely cash in.
Well, let's see what happens. Let's see what happens. All right. Okay, we're going to wrap up. We have just now officially crossed 3 hours.
Yes.
But, truth be told, there was a lot to talk about. From this event.
Yeah.
So, and I think we covered everything, I hope. And we've actually had a couple of viewers all the way through, so that's great. Nobody's commented, but we've had some people watching.
Nice.
So thank you to those who have been watching. I don't know when the next show will be. I'll talk to Donald about that. We'll try to get in another show before I have my surgery, which will be on February 12th, and then I know I'm going to be out for a couple of weeks, so maybe do get you guys to come on in my place.
Guest toast right here.
Yeah. So
And Joe.
I'm always watching wrestling, so
Yep, exactly.
we'll figure something out there. Joe, Chris, thank you for being on. Also, thank you to Rosie for coming on.
Absolutely. It was fun.
It's so much better to talk about wrestling than paranormal sometimes.
I enjoy it.
Totally
I like doing this one and the other one that I do.
Yeah.
Pure fans.
Yeah, because you get to talk about something different.
Yeah, and I enjoy all three topics.
I do an OnlyFans. I mean, never mind.
All right. Well, you guys have a good night. Everybody out there in the audience, have a good night as well. Thank you.
Everyone have a good night.
And we'll see you guys later.
Yep.
Jeremy, Joe, have a good night, guys.
Yep.
Good night, guys.